I'm sorry, lot of hindrances. So erection of wind turbine, this is taking place by use of tower cranes. These blades are being erected, and many times accidents they take place during this stage, erection of blades, because they are very heavy, very lengthy. This length is sometimes it is up to 30 meters. Okay, so it is a difficult task, very tricky and very specialized job, which is taken up by the experts. Now this is erection of cement plant. These are the cement silos. Okay, so this is all going on. This is the clinker unit where clinker is being produced. This is again erection of chemical plant. Various photographs I am showing. And this is erection of paper mill. Paper mill, this all these rollers, they are supposed to be fitted. And ultimately, this process starts from one end and ultimately it ends. The final roll is recovered from this end. This is erection of paper mill. This is the photograph of sugar plant where various segments are there for sugar mill. Like crusher unit, it starts from cane crusher. Then it goes to juicing center where juice is extracted. Then it goes to boiling section. Okay. Then boiling, then it goes to your evaporator and crystallizer. And then finally the sugar is made and ultimately it is filled into bags. Then bagging plant is there. These are the various sections in a sugar mill. Now let us come to again erection all risk policy. What are the different stages of a project, engineering project? So let us start and understand each stage, okay, for the sake of clarity, getting clarity. So this starts from tendering stage. Any big project, initial thing is the principal, he floats tenders. I want this is the cost of my project. I want to erect so much capacity of a thermal power plant, for example, or so much tons per day capacity of sugar mill. So that way, tendering is done, and at this stage, the project tenders they are floated. After then, there is some period when the tenders, the contractors, they submit tenders, then they are evaluated, technical evaluation, financial evaluation. Then lot of queries are there in big projects. Many times these contractors, they ask various clarifications. Once all those clarifications are given, then final selection is done and ultimately one contractor is selected for execution of this project. In case of big projects, it may happen that electrical contractor is different, civil contractor is different, mechanical turbine contractor is different, cooling tower contractor is different, because these are specialized areas. Okay. So multiple contractors can also be selected at this stage. Whether it is a small plant, then single contractor would be there. Otherwise, multiple contractors, they are finalized. Once the award and they are given the award, respective contractors are given the award for execution for their respective scope of work. Then comes your mobilization. Mobilization means transportation of material from respective suppliers' premises to the construction site, erection site. So this is mobilization. And during this stage, this marine transit policy is given during this stage. Okay. So during this period, your machineries and all that, they are shifted to the construction site. Many times, 100% machinery is not given, not shifted, because if some machine is required to be erected at this stage, there is no point in purchasing that machinery right at the beginning, at the start of the project. There is no point. Ultimately, it will remain under storage condition at the construction site. That is very, very risky. So the best thing is, if something is required at this stage, then the supplies should also reach the construction site nearby that, just 1 week before, when it is actually required to be erected. So this is the way mobilization is done. Marine policy is arranged. Either MCE policy is taken or separate marine transit policy is taken. Then comes your erection policy. Erection policy starts from the arrival of first consignment at site. At this site, when the first consignment is landed, arrives, then that is the start of your erection all risk policy. Understand? Then your material keeps on coming and the erection activity starts. And slowly, it keeps on increasing. The percentage increases. Okay, because your multiple parts are being erected. Say, for example, in a power plant, initially they will start with your coal conveyor, cooling tower, multiple activities they take place simultaneously. And at last, your transformers and your steam turbines, they are erected somewhere at this stage, 80 to 85% completion of the project. Okay. Then at this stage, 100% erection is ready. At this time, the contractor informs the principal as well as to the insurance company, my dear sir, my plant is erected and now it is ready for testing. So testing phase starts from this point onwards. But still your erection policy is continuing because erection policy covers your erection stage as well as testing phase. So it continues, and once the testing is done, completed, then at this stage, the contractor declares, my dear sir, the testing is successfully completed and the plant is running at, it has achieved the full production capacity of the plant. And this stage, he will hand over, provisional handing over is done to the principal at this stage. Once it is handed over and your principal is satisfied about the completion of testing, then your defect liability period starts. Defect liability, or we call it maintenance period also. I'll explain this maintenance also. There are two types of maintenance, limited maintenance and extended maintenance. I'll cover that also. So defect liability period starts from this. Now, the important point is that the moment this is handed over to the principal, provisional handing over, your erection policy ends. This is the end of erection policy. So erection policy will cover your erection stage as well as testing. The moment testing is completed and the plant is erected, your EAR policy, there is no claim under EAR policy. Then your maintenance period extension, which is granted under the policy, it starts. That is a part of EAR, but it has got a limited coverage because now the plant has started commercial production after this point. So during this stage, if there is a loss, suppose there is a breakdown loss or there is an explosion, so your maintenance period extension will not cover these things. These are operational losses. So what we are supposed to do, the moment your maintenance period starts, we are supposed to inform the contractor as well as principal. Now from this stage onwards, your EAR policy will not entertain any such claim. They will not admit liability. You please go for operational cover. Either you take IR policy or you take fire policy, whatever you want, MBD, fire MBD, or you take a combined industrial all risk policy, property all risk policy, whatever as the case may be. Some operational policy has to be taken at this stage, and this during this period, any operational loss will be paid in those operational policies, not under EAR policy. Maintenance period will not pay. Maintenance period will cover only those losses which have taken place during the course of maintenance. I'll explain that. And once the maintenance period is also over successfully, then this is the final handing over of the project, and this EAR policy ends in completeness. Then it switch over to the operational policy. Okay, any question in this? If you find some difficulty in understanding any of the point during this, I think I have explained very much in detail. Then let us see what are the policy coverages. Now this policy covers physical loss or damage to the insured property, that is means project property, occurring during the policy period. This is very important. The loss should occur during the policy period, and it is caused by a peril, by a cause which is not excluded under the policy. So these are the four conditions. There has to be a physical loss or damage. To what? To the insured property, project property, which the accident happening during the policy period. And the fourth is the peril is not excluded under the policy. The clause should be admissible. Then only the loss is paid. Okay. Now it has got two sections. One is your section 1 is your material damage, and what it covers, damage by any cause not excluded in the policy. So physical loss or damage to the property, okay, by a cause which is not excluded in the policy is covered under section 1 of erection all risk policy. That is material damage section. And section 2 is third party. Okay, section 2 is third party, and this covers two things. One is TPPD, third party property damage. Okay, so it covers legal liability to the third party property. And the second is your TPBI, third party bodily injury. Okay, this covers fatal or non-fatal injuries. Okay, so these are the two parts of third party section of the policy. So this covers, TPPD covers your property damage, third party property damage, and TPBI, it covers legal liability for fatal or non-fatal injuries. Then your policy, what are the various category of causes which are covered under EAR policy? These are the different categories. Location risk, like your fire, lightning, theft, burglary, housebreaking. Basically, it is all risk insurance subject to exclusions. So in all risk policy, as you know, unless something is excluded, falling under the exclusion, then only it is not covered. Otherwise, everything is covered. Your fire, lightning, theft, any loss taking place due to these things covered. Then your handling. What are these handling risks? Impact from falling objects, collision, failure of cranes. Many times during erection, failure of cranes. I showed you one photograph where the crane has lifted big turbine blade. So if the crane fails, the entire thing is going to come down, and that loss would be payable under section 1 of the policy. Similarly, you might have, if you recall, in 2008, when Delhi Metro was under erection, that time there were two consequent losses. Okay, two losses were there, and both were paid under section 1 of the policy. It was due to failure of crane. Second loss was purely due to failure of crane. The first loss was due to failure of slab. Okay, that was a CAR policy. Then it covers testing and commissioning. During the course of testing and commissioning, if there is a loss, it is covered. Again, one mic is unmuted. Please mute so that no one is disturbed. I request once again, please mute your mics. Testing and commissioning risk, failure of safety valves. During testing, if valve fails, then of course, immediately there would be a dharaka, explosion. Then there could be leakage of chemicals, insulation failures, short circuiting, explosion. All these things, they take place during the testing stage. And testing stage is the most critical stage. Understand? During this stage, lot of accidents, they take place. Next is your human element, carelessness, negligence, fault in erection, right strike, malicious damage, all these things are covered. Then your act of God, the storm, tempest, flood, inundation, these things are covered under the policy. Now let us see what are the exclusions. Okay, this is exclusion driven policy, so we have to concentrate on exclusions. The very first exclusion is policy excess, which is not paid under any of the policies, as you all know. Okay. Second is, this is known as inventory loss. So any loss which has been discovered, you don't know when this loss has taken place, but you discover only when you are taking an inventory in a store. So that time you discovered, as per the stock register, the exact inventory should be 20,000 pieces, But actually, when they are taking the physical inventory, they find only 15,000 pieces are there. That means 5,000 pieces are lost. Now, if you want to claim, no claim is payable. This falls under exclusion. In all policies, inventory loss, we call it. Okay. Then your normal wear and tear, gradual deterioration due to atmospheric condition, rust, many things, they are rusted, no claim. Scratching of painted, polished surface during shifting at the construction site from one place to another, or breakage of glass. This is also not covered. For this, there is an extension. You can take add-on cover up to a certain limit only, but basically your policy excludes any loss to the glass items due to its breakage. Then comes your loss or damage. This is the most important. D. Many losses, they fall under this category. D. A, B, no, C. This is C. So what is loss or damage due to? This is basically D. Numbering is wrong. A दो बार आ गया. So this is A, B, C, D. This is D. Okay. I'll correct that numbering. So loss or damage due to faulty design. If the design, there's a design defect, design is not correctly made, then loss is not paid. Of course, there is an extension, design defect extension is there. I'll discuss that also. Then if you are using defective material, then again, the policy will not address any claim, admit any claim. And for this, there is no add-on cover. For design defect, there is an add-on cover, but here there is no add-on cover. If material is found to be defective, then nothing is paid. Then defective casting or bad workmanship. Bad workmanship is also important. It is not correctly executed. I'll give example of bad workmanship also with photographs. Okay, so that you can understand what do we mean by bad workmanship. But important rider, I mean, this is very important. Okay, this says these exclusions, they are applying, they apply only to the items immediately affected. So the parts, the portion of the project which is directly affected by these faults, faulty design or defective material or defective casting, all these things, the parts which are directly affected, they are only excluded, but other parts which are correctly designed, there's no design fault, but due to damage of these portions of the project, the other components are also, which were correctly designed, correctly executed, if they also get damaged, then this remaining correctly designed portion will be paid, not the original which is affected directly. Understand? Now there are few examples just to explain this particular point. What do we mean by this exclusion? This is very important. I'll explain. Those examples are there on subsequent slides. First of all, let us see all the exclusions. Okay, highlighted here. Another exclusion is loss caused by faults in erection. This is also very interesting and very important exclusion. Any loss which is called due to fault in erection. During the erection, there is some fault. Some worker has made some fault. Okay. So that loss is covered. Try to understand, that is not an exclusion. What is excluded? Rectification cost is excluded. So if there is a fault in erection by a worker, he makes a mistake and there is a loss, it is covered, unless it is a willful negligence that we will discuss further. So a genuine fault without any intentions, bad intentions, if the employee has committed some error and which has resulted into a loss, it is payable. But if you try nothing, say for example, there is no loss and it is not executed correctly and it was found at the time of supervision or inspection, it was found there is an error in erection. Now what contractor is supposed to do? He is supposed to dismantle everything and re-erect. So these costs are not payable under the policy, but if it results into a loss, that is payable. Okay. This is very important. Exclusion E is important. Okay. Because half of the portion is covered, half of the portion is not covered. Then your common exclusion, loss or damage to files, drawings, accounts, bills, currency, Okay, stamps, deeds, all these things are not covered under the policy. Any damage due to penalties imposed on the insured due to non-completion of project in time. Many times there is a contractual liability on the contractor. If you don't finish this project by this so and so deadline, there will be a penalty of 30%, 40%, something like that. So if these things are, contractor is penalized due to non-fulfillment of the terms of the contract, then insurance company is not responsible for that. Now let us see the examples. Here is, you see one photograph. What do you see? This gap, this arrow is showing. Okay, this factory shed is being constructed and you find this gap. So this is misalignment. This is faulty erection. Ideally, it was supposed to align at this particular point, but here it is not happening. So this is fault in erection. Now, if it leads to any loss due to this is fault, then of course that will be paid. But if the supervisor comes or the principal comes for inspection, he finds what is this nonsense? It is not correctly executed. You dismantle this bar and again re-erect. So that cost, subsequent cost, rectification cost, they are not payable under the policy. Okay, this is faults in erection. Another is bad workmanship. See the quality of welding. It has been done. This is badly executed. So it may lead to losses. If the loss takes place due to this bad welding quality, it cracks, the plate cracks later on. Okay, during subsequent erection, loss is paid. But if the supervisor tells the worker, okay, do it again, it involves cost. So that rectification cost of this bad workmanship, badly executed work, is not paid under the policy. Bad or poor workmanship. So I think these two examples would explain this exclusion very correctly. Okay. Then there are few more examples. I told you, there are examples excluded under clause D. Clause D says faulty design, bad workmanship, all these things. So let us see the examples of that. This is one very interesting example. A transformer explodes during the testing phase. Erection was done successfully. During testing, it explodes. Why? Due to bad workmanship in installation of cooling system. Okay, there is a cooling system which was not correctly designed, or bad. There was a bad workmanship in installation of cooling system. Now, ER policy will not cover the cost of repairing and replacing the faulty cooling system. I told you, rectification cost is not paid. So, if it is noticed that cooling system was not correctly executed, and if the contractor is advised to dismantle everything and do it again, then this is not paid. This comes under rectification cost. But if it causes any loss or damage to the transformer or any other property, that will be paid. It will cover all those damages. Okay. Now let us see another example. A flammable gas starts leaking from a joint of interconnecting pipes in a chemical plant, which damaged one section by fire. Okay, there is a leakage. How this leakage has taken place? Because of bad workmanship, poor faulty work or bad workmanship while joining two pipes. So there was a leakage, and due to that, this gas leaked. Okay, and it damaged one section by fire, and it caught fire. So one section of the plant got damaged due to this leakage of burning gas, burning of leaked gas. Okay, during commissioning stage, due to poor workmanship, the loss was due to poor workmanship. In this situation, the loss will be paid, but the rectification cost of repairing, or replacing the defective pipe, that shall not be paid. Hope you are getting with the help of examples. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now, next example under clause B, we continue. Another example. I have given multiple
सर
examples just to
एक
explain.
क्वेश्चन था सर.
बोलिए.
सर
आई थिंक
वर्कमैनशिप और
एक मिनट यार, क्वेश्चंस हम सोच रहे हैं थोड़ी देर बाद एक साथ सबके ले लेंगे. अभी लेट अस
डन सर.
जस्ट. ओके, लेट अस कंटिन्यू. प्लीज अनम्यूट. म्यूट. म्यूट योरसेल्फ. So a defective wiring causes a short circuit in electrical panel. This is another loss. Short circuit was there because of defective wiring, and there's a fire. So the damage to the panel due to fire is payable, but the rectification cost, again, suppose there is no loss, only the rectification is required to be done. Okay, then it will not pay. नहीं, ये अलग है. This is not the rectification faulty workmanship. Here it says due to short circuit, defective wiring. There was a defect in wiring, and due to short circuiting, it damages the panel. So panel, I told you na, immediate damage, the portion of the project which is directly damaged due to faulty work. Okay, that is excluded. But nearby property which was correctly executed or correctly designed, other property, that shall be paid. It will cover the nearby property. Okay. This is exclusion D. Another very good example, a defective bolt breaks and causes a crane to collapse during testing. Just a small bolt, it is broken during the testing when the load was carried, it was taken up, and then because of that, this crane collapses due to breakage of bolt. Now the question comes, what is paid, what is not paid? So what we will not cover, we will not cover the cost of bolt, but everything will be paid because it has ultimately damaged the crane which was correctly executed. Only the damaged portion which will not be paid. Or nearby property will also be paid. Okay. Then your general exclusions. As you know, in all policies, these are the general exclusions like war or warlike operations, civil war, civil commotion, not paid. Damage due to nuclear reaction, nuclear radiation, not paid. Loss due to willful act or willful negligence of the employees, insured or his employees, the contractor or his employees, his workers. So if the negligence is found to be willful, negligence or willful act, these things are not paid. Normal negligence or normal act, omission, is covered under the policy. I'll give few examples of willful negligence and willful act also. Then the last is very important. That is why I have highlighted in red color. Cessation of work, whether total or partial. I'll explain this with the help of examples. Okay. Now examples of willful negligence and willful act. What are the various examples? The contractor is ignoring all safety protocols. Despite he knows the risk, he knows what is going to happen if I bypass a safety protocol. Okay, like for example, there is one very, very good example, interesting example for this. See, there is a running wheel, flywheel. Flywheel is running, it is connected to electrical motor. Electrical motor is connected through belt, conveyor belt, and that, no, not conveyor belt, one belt, rotating belt. So it is transmitting power from electrical motor to the flywheel. So it is rotating. Now the worker finds the bolt is now slightly loose of the flywheel. Now what is the safety protocol? What it says? You stop the machinery, let it come to total halt. Then you tighten the bolt correctly in your switched off condition when the machinery is stationary. And then again you restart. But in this process, the supervisor knows I am going to lose at least half an hour. So आधे घंटे का production जाएगा. So what he does, he knows this is very, very risky to tight the bolt in running condition. It is very, very risky. But still he does it. He tries to do it. In that case, this kind of losses are not, because this will fall under the category of willful negligence. जान के कर रहा है. He knows the consequences. It is not to be done. The spanner may fall into the machinery and it is going to create complete breakdown of the machinery. So this kind of losses are not payable. Then another thing is deliberate use of substandard material. The contractor knows that material is not of correct quality. Say for example, cement. He is using third grade cement. He knows the consequences. It is going to create some weakness or weak spots at the time of once the your civil construction is completed, or you are using bad quality of material. Like in one case, I have seen in boiler, the inferior quality of material was used, with the result at the time of testing, these boiler tubes they leaked, and it was considered as a mechanical failure, and the claim was paid under erection always policy, because any breakdown sort of thing, whatever it is payable. So leakage through the boiler tube is payable during the course of testing. Okay, and please mute your mic. Lot of disturbance. चुटका यार म्यूट कर दो सबको. तो क्या बच्चा ये नहीं होगा, ये गड़बड़ है. जस्ट अ मिनट. म्यूट हर बार हम लोग जो है भूल जाते हैं. तो पार्टिसिपेंट 1 मिनट, अब मुझे आ गया. 1 मिनट, किसी एक को नहीं करना. इनका ही खुला हुआ है. नहीं, इनका तो ठीक है. ये यहाँ पे होता है. ये रहा शेयर. म्यूट ऑल का नहीं होता है ना, पता नहीं. हाँ जी, नहीं
ഇത് വരുമ്പോ കണ്ട ഇങ്ങനെ വരുമ്പോ ഇത് ഡിവിഷൻ വരുമ്പോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഡിമാൻഡ് വരും കേട്ടാ. മൾട്ടിപ്ലൈ വരുമ്പോ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റർ കേട്ടാ. രാത്രി
यस. मैं अनम्यूटेड हूँ. या कैन यू हियर मी? अरे रिकॉर्डिंग तो बंद नहीं हो गई? जस्ट चेक.
यस सर.
रिकॉर्डिंग चालू है ना? इट इज चालू.
रिकॉर्डिंग चालू है सर.
बस ठीक है,
चालू है.
कंटिन्यू. अब मैंने सबको म्यूट कर दिया. प्लीज अनम्यूट अगेन. Please mute again. Okay, yourself, those who are speaking. Now let us see this example: deliberate use of substandard material. I was giving example of that boiler tube. So in that case, the losses were not paid because intentionally the first loss was paid, second loss was paid, third loss was rejected. Because it was after the second loss, it was found that this is the inferior quality of material. The contractor was advised to use higher grade of material, which he did not do. Intentionally, he used the same material just to consume the inventory he already purchased. Okay. And that time, the third loss was not paid. Then fourth loss was there again with the use of same material. It was also not paid. Then unauthorized alteration of project plans. This is what many times contractor they do it. Okay. Designing or planning, they make unauthorized. The principal has not approved, but they apply shortcuts. They take shortcut. Okay. They will ignore some of the cold testing process. You know, I'll explain cold testing and hot testing. So cold testing is done during the erection stage. One motor is supposed to be tested first, then it is to be installed. Okay. This is alteration. Just to save time, contractors, they start using the, understand? They start using the same electrical motors without proper testing. So this is alteration. And in one case, I saw that chemical reactor, the process time, which is supposed to be there, temperature, pressure, and the duration in a chemical reactor, unless you observe all these 3 parameters, the required quality of product will never come. So that time, during the course of testing, it was being done intentionally. The supervisor, they decided to save fuel of the reactor, and they compromise with the temperature. Instead of 270-degree temperature, they decided we will go for 250-degree only, just to save time. And ultimately, it resulted into failure of your reaction, and ultimately there was a loss and it was not paid. Okay. Then comes the last exclusion, which is there, what it says, cessation of work. Loss due to cessation or total cessation, partial or total cessation. Now, many are under the impression that the policy becomes null and void. I have seen many experienced underwriters also. They are also of the same opinion. Sir, once there is a cessation of work, where is the question of any loss? The policy becomes null and void, but it is not safe. It is not correct. Understand? This is not correct. Because the policy says that any loss due to cessation of work is not paid. It is not that all losses are not paid. So what it says, the policy will continue to cover all unforeseen and accidental losses at the construction site, except those which are caused due to cessation of work. Understand? This we have to differentiate between these two things. What is due to cessation of work and what is an ordinary loss? Like, for example, if the loss has taken place by a fire originated from burning of dry vegetation, okay, in and around the construction site, then such losses will fall under the exclusion, because now it is directly caused due to cessation of work. Okay, so these losses will not be paid. Okay, just a minute. See, again, someone has unmuted. Please mute. Thank you. So this is the example where loss is not paid if the fire is originated due to dry vegetation, because dry vegetation has taken place due to stoppage of project activities. Then your another example is all other losses, like your damage due to earthquake, flood, cyclone, landslide, etc. They are all payable because it has got nothing to do with cessation of work. They are not caused by cessation of work. So all AOG perils, they are covered. Understand? Provided, this rider is again there, provided due diligence is observed by the insured. What does it mean? He has taken adequate precaution once the work has stopped at the construction site. So what precautions? He has covered the critical machinery, plant and machinery, with proper tarpaulin or something. Then some of the, again, critical machineries, they are stored in closed godowns at an elevated height, so that if there is some heavy rains, inundation is there, then of course they are not affected. So that is another precaution, keeping the material at an elevated platform. Third thing is ensuring that your storm water drains are properly cleaned. They are not choked. This is very important. Okay. If he has taken all these precautions, then of course these losses are paid. But many times clients are found to be ignorant, and that is why these claims are also rejected. Now we can take some questions. Yes, sir, tell me.
Sir,
one by one.
सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है, मिस्टर अर्जित सर जो है ना,
हाँ,
उनको हम रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, उनका वीडियो चाहिए, कैमरा चालू है, तो डिस्टर्बेंस हो रहा है.
उनका कैमरा चालू है, तो अर्जित, मिस्टर अर्जित, प्लीज switch off your camera.
Sir, please continue.
I put it off, sir. It happened by mistake. I put it off.
Acha, okay, thank you. So any question? One person was asking one question. Please tell me. This is the time you can raise your question.
Sir, I have a question. You had mentioned that that any sort of what's it called, fault during construction, that is not covered, but losses arising out of that is covered. But what as if that fault is identified, but very often it can happen that the contractor says, "ये चलो ठीक है हो जाएगा या कुछ नहीं होगा," kind of a situation, and then we have a big loss coming because of that, and we as insurers will have to pay for it. Does this serve a purpose?
I
Can
got
we
your point. I got your
control it?
point. Genuine error, fault in erection. If it is going genuinely without the notice of the contractor and before it was detected, there was a loss. Okay. In that case, those losses, genuine losses, would only be paid. The only thing company says, that's the example which you said, that contractor knows this is a erection fault, but he says nothing doing, yeah, chalega, chalega, chalega. If these things are noticed, then that loss cannot be paid because then it will come under the category of willful negligence. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes,
It
sir.
is
Thank you.
willful negligence, but the rectification cost will not be paid.
Okay. So one more question. You had mentioned that burning of dry vegetation around the construction site and fire
Yes.
originating from it, which causes a lot loss is
Ah.
not covered. I'm just wondering, how is burning of dry vegetation considered cessation of work? Just could you
Reason being,
explain a little bit?
yes. Due to this cessation of work, what happens? Everybody has gone. Workers have stopped coming. Security has gone. Insured is also waiting for funds. Some other reason or government approval to restart the work. There is some complication at the construction site. Many times due to financial crisis, they stop the work activity. Now, during that period, if the site is left unattended, that means what happens in the process during the course of time, 3-4 months, vegetation will start, okay, growing. In that, there is no continuous removal of dry vegetation in and around the construction site. So in that case, during summer season, it gets dried and then it catches fire. So what you will say? It is due to the cessation of work, na? So what insured is supposed to do? He is not supposed to leave the site unattended in this fashion for months together. So if it is done, then these losses are not paid. We have rejected few losses because there was a loss due to dry vegetation, fire due to burning of dry vegetation inside the construction site. So insured was not paid. Okay, got it?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Now let us see the sum insured. Yeah, policy sum insured. How to say? Yes. Tell me quickly.
Sir, on this cessation point, like you said, when the security and people were on leave for 3-4 months, this vegetation happened. What if they were not on leave and they were just careless? They let the vegetation happen. They continued work in the plant, but they did not take care of the vegetation.
Yes,
They were working.
sir, it is willful negligence, na? Then we have got another exclusion. If knowingly, if somebody is ignoring the security or the person responsible for this, they are just leaving the site just like that, ignoring the potential threat. है ना? So those things, then of course it comes under willful negligence of the security in charge or the person whosoever was there at the construction site. Then again,
So the loss will be paid, but the repair won't be.
what repair? इसमें कोई repair नहीं है ना? The whatever fire से जो होगा, the and everything would be burnt. Where is the question of repairing?
Correct. Okay, fair enough. So that comes under an exclusion. Okay.
Yeah. Now this point why I am insisting, because I was shocked when I saw senior underwriters, they are telling in open forum, they are telling such losses will not be paid. I said that I countered them. How can you deny a flood claim? Then of course we will take that rider is provided insured has also taken due diligence. Due diligence is something which is there in all policies. Without even writing, due diligence is an implied condition. The client has to act as if he is uninsured at all times during the currency of the policy. So he has to act as if he is uninsured. If he is uninsured, what he is going to do? He will not leave his material just like that on the ground itself. He will definitely take care. He will shift all his critical equipments in a closed area, or at least he will make some elevated platform, cover it with tarpaulin or proper sheets, polythene sheets, etc. so as to avoid entry of water, ingress of water. If he is not done, then of course there would be some penalty. 100% claim, it depends upon the concerned claim settlement officer, whether he pays some 50%, 60% or something, or he declines 100%. Everything now it is in his hand. But the client is going to be penalized in that situation. Now let us come to sum insured. How to fix the sum insured of the plant? Okay, policy. So what it says, the guideline is, it should not be less than it should represent the completely erected value of the project, inclusive of rate, custom duty, erection cost, everything. So total completed value of project, this should be the sum insured. Now how to arrive at that value? You take the cost of imported or indigenous machinery which are going to be erected, including their freight, custom duty and all these things, charges, installation, handling and all these charges, duties, GST, vagara, sub, everything would be included in this. Then cost of erection. What is the cost involved in erection of those machineries? Naturally, the wages, power. Okay. So one thing is your indigenous machinery, then your cost of erection. It includes two things, power, wages, and other charges also, supervision charges. All these things would be covered under cost of erection. We call it erection cost also. Then permanent civil engineering works, as I told, if it is a mixture of your engineering and civil works, then whatever permanent means your construction of shed, construction of godowns, they are permanent sheds. Okay. Then temporary works, that also has to be included in policy sum insured. Many times contractors and underwriters, they fail to include this portion, and then it is a problem. If it is not declared separately under the policy, then claims are rejected. What are temporary constructions like your godowns, storage godowns, temporary godowns, cement godowns in all projects, 100%. Cement godowns, they are constructed, temporary construction. Because once the project is completed, they are to be demolished. Okay. Then temporary offices, supervisor's office. Then residential quarters for the workers. Okay. They are temporary construction, tin shed dal denge or something like that. Then sheds, temporary bridges, then temporary access roads in civil construction or engineering works also. Whatever access roads, because unless you make some access roads, you can't move your plant and machinery. Okay, CPM equipment and machinery, which are required for erection of the project. So, but they are temporary. Once the work is over, they are supposed to be dismantled, okay, erased. Okay, so this is all temporary. But during the course of construction of these temporary works, now cement go down, he is making. During the course of construction, a crane falls on the wall and it collapsed. It is a loss. To the temporary works, it was not a part of the project, permanent project ka part nahi hai. It was a temporary, which was supposed to be dismantled. But again, there is a loss to the contractor. He will have to build it again. And then temporary bridges for movement of your tower cranes and all that in case of construction. While constructing a river bridge, always one another bridge, temporary bridge, is also constructed. Otherwise, how can he move his crane for the final construction? Okay, main construction. Okay, so that temporary bridge or temporary access roads, these are very important, and there is 100% possibility of damage. Not 100%, there's a high possibility. And that time, unless it is shown separately, no claim can be paid. Then cost of freely supply material. This is also again very, very, very important. Many times principal, they give certain critical equipments to the contractor. They say, this is the equipment which is to be used and I have already imported and you can use it. I am not going to charge. Ultimately, it is to be installed in my project. So contractor is getting free of cost, but it does not mean that he is not supposed to pay premium on that. So that value is also supposed to be included in the cost of construction, total constructed cost. Then only the claim shall be paid. many times it is seen that contractors, they forget to include these items which he has received freely from the principal. Then escalation. Now you will laugh that what it says, 50% of the escalation cost that is to be added to the policy sum insured. That means premium is supposed to be charged on 50% of the escalation. If it means if you have asked for 50% escalation, which is nowadays it is given free of cost, but technically we are supposed to charge that 50% of the escalation amount, and that is supposed to be added in policy sum insured. But it is not being done because of the free market. Okay. Then this is very important, pre-operative expenses. So there are certain expenses which have already occurred, which is a part of the project, but they are uninsurable. They are not supposed to be taken in the cost while taking the values for declaring the sum insured. Means premium is not supposed to be paid. Like, for example, technical consultation fee, project financing expenses, soil testing, compacting and labeling expenses, designers fee, designers consultants fee, all these things, etc. In some of the cases, I have seen that contractors, they add cost of land also in the project cost. Not supposed to be insured. Land cost is not supposed to be insured. Only the project cost is supposed to be insured. So all these things, if it is added, please remove. Otherwise, you are charging extra premium.
Sir, sorry to interrupt one question, sir. Can I?
Yeah.
Sir, this free supply of items. Suppose I have recently seen in one ground-mounted solar, wherein principal is supplying the modules, solar modules, and once it reaches the project site, then it is the contractor has to do an inspection, and post inspection, if anything is identified, that cannot be replaced by principal.
That cannot
during inspection time, if any damage is identified, that will be replaced by principal. But once inspection is done, and if they say everything is all right, and later if they find any denting, chipping, or scratching, those kind of things cannot be replaced by principal. But in
and
this
the policy will
sir.
also not address these losses. Reason being, I tell you, unless there is an accident at the construction site, and in that accident, which is not coming under the excluded perils, I have given the list of exclusions. If it is admissible, the loss is admissible, there is a complete collapse of the constructed structure due to any reason, due to faulty workmanship or something. This structure is collapsed, and along with that collapsed structure, that freely supplied item are also damaged. In that case, the cost will be paid by the insurance company, provided it is declared in the policy separately under the head of cost of freely supplied items. That is why I am insisting. Unless you pay the premium, insurance company is not going to pay. Otherwise, they are happy to pay. Even though it is supplied by the, provided it is a part of sum insured.
Sir, sir, actually my query is now, as a customer concern here is, client concern is, since the delivery scope of module is in the purview of principal till the project site, now denting, chipping, so at the time of inspection, they cannot check each and every model. So every module, they might take a randomly some 2-3 cartons and check.
And later on, after opening the packing, it was found to be damaged.
Done. In those cases, so how client can whether safeguard this kind of things? Is there any alternative way whether they have to definitely take a transit insurance? Because ultimately delivery is in the scope of principal, they'll be having entire details what they are going to supply to the contractor.
Boss, simple. It is common sense. Now that the principal has to take a marine transit policy from the suppliers and till the project site. If he is directly ordering those material from the OEM or the any supplier of that material or machine, so those equipments, that transit insurance has to be arranged. That is
so the contractual condition should be amended. With some good concealed damage period.
See, if now again, principal can enter into a contract and they can say If something is not noticed, the loss is not noticed, and later on it is found, then it is contractor's baby. Principal is free. If this clause is there in the contract, then in that case, principal is free. Then contractor, and now this issue is left in between the contractor and the insurance company. Now, insurance company will say this kind of damage have they taken place at the construction site during the storage?
Exactly, sir.
During the storage, if it is established, yes, it was a loss during the storage. Something has fallen over this packing, and it has caused damage during the storage, or while it was shifted from one place to another at the construction site through crane or through some other mode of transport, there was a damage. It was a visible damage to those material, then of course your policy will pay. Again, subject to condition that these items have been declared in the sum insured.
Agree, sir. Matlab, what I'm saying is these items will definitely declared under the erectional risk policy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when contractor is taking this supply, so he will inspect the modules. Okay. And later, after maybe a 60 or 90 days, when he started erecting those modules, then he found out that there is a denting chipping.
I have already explained. Reason being, if nothing has happened at the construction site, and the only thing when he opened up packing and it was found damaged, then insurance company is not responsible for that, my dear. Then of course either this principal is responsible or the contractor, depending upon the contract in between that. Okay. So accordingly, they will decide what to do as per their terms. But insurance company is free in that case, unless an accident has taken place at the construction site.
Okay. No, sir, but because erectional risk policy, whomsoever the insurer, he will definitely question why it can't happen in transit. How we can say that it happened only in the projects, right?
We will discuss it further later on after the presentation is over, because we are
sir. Sorry. No
on one-to-one basis we can discuss at length. Okay.
Done, sir. Done.
So, my dear friends, it is already 11:30, and I think we take a break of 10 minutes, and then we continue. Okay.
Sir, one question can I ask?
Tell me.
Sir, regarding that escalation cost, what we have to take? What are our components which we need to consider
in escalation
cost?
Escalation, mein dekho, this your escalation in prices, inflation is one thing. Then your cost, how much is likely to be increased? Say, for example, the project duration is 3 years. Right now, your value is X amount. But after 3 years, will it be X? No, it will be at least 1.5 times of the X, or 1.75, or 2 times of the X, depending upon the nature of the project. This experts, project advisors, or project financing team, the lenders, they will decide how much escalation may take place during this period of 3 years. And that escalation is supposed to be taken into consideration while taking the policy. Right now, all insurance companies are allowing up to 50% free of cost. So this is the golden period for the clients. Okay, no premium and 50% escalation is available without any cost.
All cost, whatever raw material which supplier is or contractor is purchasing from supplier, that also needs to be included, correct?
Everything, the project material, entire project material has to be taken into account.
But what about the raw material which we have purchased now, and if it goes till 3 years, then still also we need to consider, or what? Or whatever material he will purchase afterwards, that only will be covered. Is it like that?
No. Just listen. You have purchased as X amount, but you have to take into consideration what is the escalation. Please mute. Somebody has unmuted. अरे बंद कर दो भाई. किसका माइक चालू है यार? इंडिया में रहते हैं, मैं नाम नहीं ले रहा हूँ फिर से. अरे अरे यार, इसको फिर निकलना पड़ेगा. एक भाई साहब ने माइक ऑन कर दिया है, अब यहाँ से निकल नहीं पा रहे. बड़ा प्रॉब्लम.
हेलो,
ये किसका है? Can you find out?
Mr. Sriram, can you please mute? Mr. Sriram also.
नहीं, मैंने तो सबको म्यूट कर दिया, लेकिन बट टेल हिम टू म्यूट बिकॉज अननोइंगली ही हैज Unmuted. Yeah. So for raw material, I was telling, raw material also, right now the cost is you are purchasing at 100 rupees a ton, for example. But you are not sure. This cost will not remain 100 per ton after the completion of 3 years. So if you think that it will be 150 per ton after the completion of at the end of 3 years, then you are supposed to take escalation accordingly in your policy. So even for not for
Yes, sir,
purchase
got it.
cost, you have to see what price it is going to fetch, how much it will cost at the end of 3 years. That is what you are supposed to take into consideration. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Chalo, right now it is 11:36 and we meet at what time? 11:45 or 11:50. Then we continue. Okay. 14
Right,
minutes
sir.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, sir.
11:50 we start. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Hello. Time हो गया. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I ask
Please
one
shut.
question before starting?
Yeah, tell me quickly.
Sir, regarding fixing of sum insured, you told that all these needs to be taken into consideration. But usually what will happen when we are issuing policies, we are issuing policies based on the contract which insured has received or contractor has received. So in such cases, if insured told that I want to insure all these charges also, but that was not included in my contract, so can we go ahead with that?
Yes, if the insured says yes, this is not a part of contract, but still these things are to be added. Okay, so in that case, like your CPM sum insured, CPM will never be a part of your contract value.
Do we need to
But
ask any additional documents, or based on only declaration we can go ahead?
we can, because at the time of loss, this sum insured has to be compared with the total computed value of the project. That time, surveyor will see what is the sum insured, whether it is adequate or not. Okay, this is the way surveyor is going to decide the under insurance. So additional things, if it is related to the project, but it is not forming a part of contract, there are many things which may not fall under the contract with the principal, but there are other things which are to be insured, then of course it has to be added. Over insurance is not a problem. The problem is under insurance. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we shall start again. This is slideshow. Start the slideshow. So sum insured is okay. Pre-operative expenses. Now comes very important point, that is period of cover. So when the policy starts and when it ends, this is very important. Number one is commencement. When does it commence? I told you already that date of arrival of first consignment at site. When the first consignment landed at the construction site, that is the time when the policy starts. Okay. Then your expiry. When does it expire? There are two things. One thing is successful completion of testing and commissioning of the project, and or other thing is expiry of policy period expiry date, whichever is earlier, then policy will end. So either successful completion or the policy expiry date expires, the policy expires first, that is the end of policy, unless he takes the extension, or if the plant is successfully tested and commissioned, that is the end of the policy. Even if the policy expiry date is 6 months ahead, but still the policy will end at that moment, the moment that contractor declares that my plant is commissioned, tested and commissioned. Okay. Now another important clause under period of cover. This is very important. Please note that the company's liability shall expire for portion of the project, part of the contract works, which is taken over or put into service. Many times it happens, some of the part is already handed over to the principal. Like it is not very common in engineering project, because engineering part of the project is not taken over. unless the entire project is tested and commissioned. Okay. Integral testing is done. Integral testing means the entire portions of the project, all machineries, all sections of the project, they are started, they are run together, and they are tested. So that is known as integral testing. It is 100% in majority of the cases it is done. But the only exception is your combined cycle power plant. Sometimes it happens that the moment gas turbines they are erected and commissioned, the principal says, I will not keep it as idle. I will, since the money has already gone, it is commissioned, then I will run it in open cycle mode. Open cycle mode means let the exhaust gases release to the atmosphere. Let it run at 35% efficiency only. But still, he will say, I will generate power and start generating money. In that case, the moment he starts using the gas turbine for commercial purpose, okay, that means testing is done, it is commissioned, and it is handed over to the principal. So your policy, it goes out of the purview of ER policy. There is no loss, and the client is supposed to take operational policy for that. Now, what will happen when the integral testing shall be done? Now, this is the biggest problem. That time, this machinery, which has already gone outside and operational cover is taken by the principal, now it has not come, it cannot come back to erection policy once again. So integral testing, at the time of integral testing, without gas turbine, integral testing cannot be done of a combined cycle power plant. So in that situation, he will have to go without an insurance cover on gas turbines. Now you will say, what is the solution, sir? Solution in that case is keep the turbine not commissioned. Once commissioned, it is tested and commissioned. Just keep it idle. Don't run it in open cycle mode and take continuity cover. I'll explain that under ER policy so that it remains covered under the ER policy, and again it can be used as during the course of integral testing. In that situation, it will be a part of policy coverage, otherwise not. Hope it is clear to you. For example, gas turbine in CPP unit, combined cycle power plant. This is a very, very prominent example for this. Now, in the event of non-completion of the project within the policy period, extension can be given at additional premium. Now, extension can be given. Just mind these words. There is no compulsion on insurance company to grant extension. If they are not happy with the performance of project, they may deny extension. Okay. So, if it is not done, project is not completed within the policy period, extension shall be given, may or may not be given. Of course, additional premium is charged. It is not given free of cost. Then the maximum period is limited. This is the project period we are talking. This is the project period which is allowed as per reinsurance treaties, 84 months. And it is inclusive of your extended maintenance period. Okay. And the length of extended maintenance period is also defined as 24 months. Not more than 24 months extended maintenance cover can be given. In civil engineering policies, it can be, there is no limit of 24 months. There the policies are there where the construction period is 3 months and the extended maintenance period is 4 years. 3 years is construction period and 4 years is the maintenance period. Or the construction period is 2 years and the maintenance period can be given for 5 years. In some of the cases, I have seen contractors are demanding 10 years maintenance period, and which is very difficult to give, and more than 84 months. That is inclusive of your maintenance period. Construction and maintenance period should not exceed 84 months. Okay. Now, this is one of the basic thing which is confusing, which confuses many. There is an installment facility of payment of premium under project insurance policy. So what are the norms? Extension facility can be allowed subject to what are the conditions? Policy period should be more than 12 months. If it is less than 12 months, no installment can be given. Then upfront 100% premium is to be paid in a single installment. The second condition is last installment to be collected at least 6 months before completion of the project. Understand? So if it is 18 months project, so the last installment has to come by the end of 12 months. So at least 6 months before the expiry of the policy. And this is the most important condition. Minimum gap between the two installments should not be less than 3 months. There was a lot of discussion on this particular point. Sir, what is the harm if we give the gap in between the two is less than 3? What is the problem? No. These terms were decided by TSE, keeping things in mind. Otherwise, it will be installment every month. If they start paying the installment, it will be a horrible thing. Number of installment you are increasing. No, this condition is applied to keep the installments, numbers of installment under control. If you keep minimum 3 months, installment would be, say for example, 18 months policy is there. Now the condition is the last installment has to come within before 6 months. That means entire installment have to come in 12 months. Now the gap is minimum 3 months. So if you keep the gap of 3 months, that means maximum 4 installment. And first installment you are taking at the beginning. So all in all, you can take how much? Total number of installments would be 4 in that case. Understand? If you give it monthly, the installment would increase like anything. It will be 12 installments. That is not permitted. Okay. Substantial premium has to come. First installment should be higher by 5%. It should be, again there is a confusion. People think that it should be higher in comparison to second or third installment. No. 5% higher of the total premium. So first installment should be heavy. The difference between first and second installment should not be, it is not that the difference between first and installment should be 5%. No, that is a wrong understanding. Many underwriters are applying this theory also. That is wrong. 5% of the total premium has to be kept separately, take out the amount, and then add this total taken out amount, 5% amount, add into the first installment, and then collect. This is the way of calculation of installment. And in case of major loss, all pending installments have to be collected before settlement of the loss. If there is a big loss, all pending installments should be collected. These are the guidelines. Okay. Now, let me see refund. Another rule is for refund of premium for early completion. In case the project is completed before time, then of course, client is supposed to get refund. He has taken a policy for 40 months and the project is completed just in 30 months. Of course, he is entitled to get the refund. But what are the terms? Terms are, the period of insurance should be 18 months and above. 18 or 12 hai? I don't remember. The period of insurance should be 18 months. I'm not very sure. I'll have to cross check.
18 months, sir. 18 months.
Sir, 12 था.
ये 12 है कि नहीं? ये
18 महीने.
18 महीने. तो हाँ, मुझे जरा मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ, because in installment facility it is 12. इसमें 18 है या क्या है? If it is 18, I have written it should be 99%. It should be 18, but still it requires rechecking. It is 18. Then notice 18. Then it's okay. Final. Then notice of early completion to be given in advance to the insurers. Okay. And at least before commencement of testing, that I am likely to complete my project much before time. So I would apply for refund. Okay. Third thing is claim ratio should be less than 60%. Then minimum period for which the refund can be claimed is 3 months. Okay. Minimum period means you cannot claim for 2 months refund. If the project is completed just 1 month before the total project period, what your policy period, no refund. 2 months, no refund. Minimum refund period should be 3 months. Okay. That means if the project period is your 40 months, the project has to be completed before 37th month. Only then the refund will be calculated. This is again, this rule was framed. Otherwise, somebody will come, sir, I have completed my project just 15 days before the expiry. Please give me refund. So we don't want to entertain all these petty matters. At least 3 months refund should be there. Then refund of premium to be allowed only after reworking. How the refund is to be calculated? Nothing, no pro rata, nothing doing. If you say instead of 40, I have completed my work in 33 months, company will recalculate the premium for 33 months and the difference of premium shall be allowed. Policy period. This is also very important. Initially, the policy period should not be intentionally kept longer just with the intentions of taking refund. No, that is also not correct. If the contract says that your total period, project period is 36 months and the policy is taken for 45 months, sorry, it is not allowed. What is allowed? As per the contract only, you take the policy, and then if you do it fast, then only you are entitled for refund, otherwise no. Okay. Now, adjustment of sum insured, there is a provision of adjustment. I'll go a little fast here because these are the basic things. So premium adjustment, it is done only on the cost of these things. Your cost of construction, right? Handling charges, custom duties, and cost of erection. These are the heads where adjustment can be done. And the prime cost of machinery, okay, equipments, that is not subject to refund. Here, it is recalculated because initially they were the estimated values. Understand? Finally, at the end of the project, the actual values are calculated, worked out, not worked out, they are calculated only. And then they will see what was initially declared. If there was actual is lesser than initially declared, then of course refund of premium is allowed. And it is two-way, either refunded or recovered. If actual is found to be more than what was declared, then additional recovery is supposed to be there. But practically it is not done. Only refund is done. Recovery, it becomes once the project is over, it is very difficult to recover anything from the client. Then any increase or decrease in the prime cost of the material is not subject to refund. Now, coverage of CPM machinery. This is also very important. Now, I am talking of tariff rules. The practical scenario is totally different. But we should know whatever we do in current market, the tariff market, because we are free to do whatever we want. But we should know what was advised to do it. Okay. Again, mute. Hello. Chutka, please mute all. Yes, thank you. So in this coverage for CPM machinery under ER policy, what it says, if the value of CPM equipment is less than 5% of the sum insured, project sum insured, or rupees 25 lakhs, whichever is lower, okay, then the same equipment, there is no need to take CPM policy separately. You cover under ER policy only, but at the rates and access applicable to CPM. Now, this is not being followed currently. If the value is less than 25, lot of confusion is there under this. I have seen many policies where many wonders have been done. So the rule says if it is less than 25 lakhs or 5% of the sum insured, whichever is less. So in that case, there is no need to take separate CPM policy. Only thing, you just add the value in the schedule. CPM equipment 18 lakh. Yeah, CPM equipment 20 lakhs. It's okay. But if the value exceeds 25 lakhs, then it has to be covered under CPM policy. Proper CPM policy should be given. Now, what is practically happening? Suppose the contractor's plant and machinery value is coming to 50 lakhs or 1 crore or 2 crore. What people say that CPM is covered up to 25 lakhs in basic policy itself. No separate CPM policy is given. Now they are under the impression any loss up to 25 lakhs is covered under your basic EAR policy. It is 100% wrong notion. It is not correct. And at the time of loss, surveyor is not going to consider. You may be thinking something. You may be advising the client, sir, there is no problem. 2 crores is your machinery. Up to 25 lakhs will be paid. It is not a loss limit. It is sum insured limit. Understand? So, sometimes I have seen policies where they think that up to 25 lakhs is covered. Above that, it will be uninsured. That is again a wrong notion. Ideally, if it is less than 25 lakhs, it should be covered under the same policy. Otherwise, a separate CPM policy is supposed to be taken. Now you will say these limits were fixed around 30 years back. You are right. These limits were old limits, around 30, 35 years back, they were fixed. Understand? Then why don't we revise? We don't revise. We are not interested, underwriters, Anna, they are not interested in revising because we do not want to cover CPM under the same policy. We want separate CPM policy should be issued as per terms and conditions provided under CPM policy. That is the intention. Okay. Because here also, the terms and condition of CPM are not applied. For less than 25 lakhs, the policy is given, this coverage is given under CAR, ER policy, and terms and condition of ER policy is applied for settlement of losses to CPM equipment, which is again wrong. Terms and condition applicable to CPM policy should be applied. But in practice, it is not being done. This is what I have observed. Everybody gives the coverage under ER policy and they settle the claim according to ER insurance. Now testing cover under ER policy. Now the critical portions are coming. We are entering into a critical area. Okay. Now what is cold testing? Cold testing is something which is done without giving load to the equipment. Okay. Now test conducted under dry condition. Dry condition means without firing of furnace, no heat is given, no application of direct or indirect load, or without the use of feedstock. Feedstock we need out. The feedstock means raw material. No raw material is fed, just a dry run. Chala ke dekh liya. Like electric motor, ek baar plug in kiya, switch on kiya, just see whether motor is running or not. Switch off. This is cold testing. Okay. Hot testing. Acha, now this is cold testing for mechanical items. Now for electrical items, it says you test the machinery like electrical motor or fan or compressor, whatever electrical items are there. Okay, compressor is not electrical item, that is mechanical. Electrical motors I am talking. So there no load is given. The motor has to run independently. That is cold testing. Now what is hot testing? Hot testing is just opposite of that. Means you are testing by giving load and you are testing the machinery in actual working situation by feeding the feedstock and other material, giving the load 100% as if it is being operated in practice. I mean, after commissioning, when it will be under operation, the way it will be operated in the same way you test it. That is hot testing. And for electrical equipments, you provide load, you connect to the grid, and then you test the machinery, like your alternator, turbine and alternator. Alternator, cold testing means you are testing, you are just rotating the turbine in dry condition. You are not connecting the load with the transformer and ultimately to the grid. No. But in hot testing, you will be performing this test after connecting to the grid. Understand? This is the difference between hot testing and cold testing. Cold testing is considered as a part of erection period. It is not considered as a part of testing. Only hot testing, whenever it is done, it is considered as a part of testing period. Cold testing is not considered. Cold testing is as good as erection period. Understand? So, if the proposer, if the client has taken 2 months testing period and he is doing some cold testing, so 3 days he has done some cold testing, so it will not be counted as testing period. Testing period will start when you start hot testing of equipment. Okay. Now, testing cover. How will you test a plant? Now, individual testing, hot testing, cold testing, you have understood. Now, other than TPP, thermal power plant, there are two categories. One is testing of thermal power plant, another is testing of other than thermal power plants. So first we are discussing other than TPP. Here these things are very simple. Testing period starts when the first test operations they start. With the start of first test operations, your testing period also starts, and it continues till successfully completion of trial running is done. So the testing period starts from the first trial run and it ends when the plant is successfully tested and commissioned, not before that. And it ceases कब खत्म होगा? On commencement of commercial production or handing over to the plant after expiry of testing period, whichever is earlier. That means the moment you hand over the plant, it is the end of testing period, or the testing period expiry has come. It was given for 2 months, so 2 months period is exhausted even before the handing over of the project. That is known as end of testing period. Okay, whichever comes earlier. This earlier is very important. Okay. Now extension, yes, testing period. If the testing is not completed before the expiry of testing period given in the policy, say for example 3 months testing was allowed, but due to continuous failure, especially in case of thermal power plants, lot of hiccups are there. Many times accidents they take place. So this testing period is exhausted in that situation. Then the clients would require extension of testing period. Then testing period extension is done by charging additional premium. And again, it is not automatic. Many times insurance companies, they refuse to give testing period extension. Okay, the client, it becomes a panic situation for the client. Where should he go in between? And that time I have seen some policies where the reinsurer, not reinsurer, the insurance company said, sorry, I have already given you 3 extension. Now no more 4th extension will be given. And the client is entrapped because his testing is not completed. Nobody is going to give him operational policy. The client is still under testing. There are some problems. Claims have already taken place. So the existing company has refused. In that case, the client will have to go to other companies and accept whatever terms they are giving so that his testing period is extended. Got it?
Sir, one query in testing.
Quickly.
Sir, suppose if a plant has a multiple lines to be erected, and one of the line is where testing is completed, and second line the testing will commence once the erection is completed. So in those cases, how the period will be treated? Individually, insurance company will consider as line wise.
Listen, I tell you, if the line which is tested and commissioned, if it has started giving production without dependence on other line, there is no question of integral testing.
Okay.
If one line is tested and it is enough, no integral testing is required. Then what will happen? The testing period, this line is tested and it is handed over. So this coverage of particular line which is tested, that will be out of the policy. And then operational policy is supposed to be taken by the insured principal for this particular line which is completed. For remaining lines, for individually for each line, this testing period of 3 months is available.
Okay, clear, sir, clear. Okay.
But something which is tested, testing is completed, it goes out of the policy. Unless, again I repeat, if nature of the plant is like that, even after completion, it has to remain in the policy, because finally when all 5 lines, assembly lines or manufacturing lines, they are completed, then it will be required to test all lines put together.
Integral testing, you mean, sir?
In that case, continuity cover will be granted and then integral testing shall be done.
Okay, so in that case, continuity cover is required.
Exactly. I'll explain what is continuity cover. Okay.
And repeat test, how that is going to be applicable, sir? Repeat test clause.
Repeat test clause is not a standard test. It's a standard clause. ये आज का it is just thinking of some few intelligent people, and they have started giving this repeat test. There's nothing repeat test. If the test is repeated, it is a part of your testing period. No repeat test wording is required. This is just to impress the client.
Just a cosmetic add on that.
Cosmetic, बिल्कुल सही word आपने use किया. Perfect.
Okay.
It has got no technical validity. Repeat.
It's actual testing only.
It is actual testing only. You repeat 10 number of times. What is repeat test?
Until the testing period, you can do any number of testing.
Exactly.
Okay.
N number of testing you can do it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Unless the expiry of testing period.
Got
so
it,
even after expiry of testing period, you can go for extension, provided insurance company agrees for the same.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Then you continue repeat test. What is the problem? No issues.
So one more thing. So in case suppose one line the testing is completed and production has started. So immediately we have to run one operational policy simultaneously with the erection all risk, so that whenever this get completed, it keep on adding to the operational policy.
Exactly. This is the right way of doing it, but people don't do it. And they assume that even after completion of testing, this line is remain covered under the policy. But policy is very clear.
Ceases. Testing is done, it ceases.
Exactly. Once the testing and commissioned, both, means it is ready for production. It has tested is done, and it has reached to acquired its maximum rated capacity, production capacity. That means it is tested and commissioned. Okay.
Sir, in those cases, is it compulsory that we have to go with the same insurer who has written the erection policy?
No, not at all.
Right?
You can go to any other company, but preferably the same company is good because he knows everything. New company may create some problem at the time of loss, but there is no such restriction. If same company is not giving operational policy, you can approach any other company who is ready to give operational policy.
Clear, sir. Clear.
Then suspension. Many times the testing period is suspended. So what are the rules for that? If the testing period is suspended, means it is interrupted. The test run was started and then it is stopped for some reason. Okay, it remains suspended for more than 7 days. Unless it remains suspended for more than 7 days, nothing is done. अगर 3 दिन के लिए suspend हुआ, nothing can be done. But if the suspension period is more than 7 days, continuous, not interrupted, continuously 7 days, it is interrupted, then it can be considered as erection period. 7 दिन से ज्यादा काम रुक गया, तो फिर टेस्टिंग पीरियड आपका एग्जॉस्ट नहीं होगा. It will remain intact, provided it is within the policy limit. It does not fall within the testing period extension. This is important. If the testing period extension is there, this clause doesn't work, suspension clause. Okay, everything is tested. Testing period only. It is due to unforeseen accident. Why suspension has taken place? Due to some accident happening anywhere else in the site. यहाँ पे नहीं हुआ accident, कहीं और हुआ. And because of that, this testing is stopped for some period, more than 7 days. And the situation is beyond the control of the insured. If all these conditions are fulfilled, then your erection period of 10 days, 15 days, 20 days suspension, that will not be treated as testing period. इसको हटा देंगे. In consideration of this, suspension period is not taken into consideration while calculating the length of testing period. Simple. It will not be taken into consideration. Is it clear? Suspension. Nowadays, this clause is not taken, but you should know. It is very uncommon. कोई नहीं देता इसको suspension वाला. होता भी नहीं है. Many times it does not happen. Yes, tell me what you are asking.
Sir, if the suspension period is in between, suppose testing period is 3 months and 1 month testing is already over, and later in between 1 month suspension is there, then still it will be treated as part of erection or how?
Yes, it will be treated only after start of testing period if it is suspended. Suspension तभी होगा जब testing period start हो जाएगा ना. After start of testing period, जैसे like you said, 3 months extension was testing period was there. After 1 month, it is suspended for 1 month. So this 1 month will not be treated as part of testing period. इसको हटा देंगे. provided all those conditions are fulfilled. Okay, then we will consider only 1 month is exhausted, which was the actual testing period. The suspension period is not counted. Okay. Now for thermal power plant, it is a complicated thing. Now listen, इसको बोलते हैं 72 hours clause for thermal power plant.
Sir, I have one question,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
Testing period, we will be taking 3 months, right? In that, 1 month is completed and another month is under a suspension. But and it will be during the project period only, matlab policy period only. Then, if it is again considered as an erection period, what will be this project period?
See, project period, yeah, definitely.
If it will be, if we have taken for 18 months, and in that 3 months is a testing period, already 1 month is over testing period, 1 month suspension, then that 18 months should be the coverage, or how it will be, sir?
I tell you. In that case, the erection period would be exhausted, not the testing period. Testing period is more crucial than erection period. In that case, if the policy expires before completion of testing, you can easily go for normal testing, not testing period extension. You will go for erection period extension under the policy, which is easily available. The problem comes when you go for extension of testing period. Getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Now, in this case, what it says, the testing is deemed to have commenced. कब से शुरू होगा testing in thermal power plants? Okay. From the date of synchronization, यहाँ process क्या होता है? I'll just explain in short for the benefit of those who are not aware of all these things. They are not conversant with this grid and all these things. See, in case of thermal power plant, what happens? The ultimate testing is done not individually. It has to be connected to the power grid, okay, available locally in that state. It has to connect, and he is supposed to run the turbine continuously for 72 hours. Unless he runs the turbine continuously for 72 hours, testing is not completed. It will not deemed to be completed. And that is why, see, he has run for 50 hours. 72 hours is the required time. And now he is disconnected because of any reason. It means this becomes zero. Now he will have to start his meter again from scratch. फिर जीरो से वो शुरू करेगा आफ्टर. ऐसा नहीं है 50 कर लिया, आप केवल मुझे 22 और करना है. नहीं. Continuously 72 hours it has to run without any complication. Then only the testing is considered completed. Now the question, another question before this 72 hours, the question comes, when to start? When do we consider now it is the start of? कब से मीटर कब से चालू होगा टेस्टिंग पीरियड का? उसके लिए क्या है कि if the synchronization is done within 72 hours, 72 घंटे में synchronization हो गया. Synchronization also takes time. First of all, you will inject steam into the turbine. Turbine rotate करेगा, धीरे धीरे RPM बढ़ेगा. Ultimately, it reaches to 3000 RPM. It takes time. Okay. उसके बाद then it will be connected to transformers. Load को फिर connect करके then it will be stepped up. Okay. The current is stepped up, and then finally it is connected to the grid. ग्रिड से कनेक्ट होके फिर फ्रीक्वेंसी का आपको बैलेंस करना पड़ेगा. 50 हर्ट्ज फ्रीक्वेंसी इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो इफ दिस कनेक्शन इज सक्सेसफुली डन विद द ग्रिड विद इन 72 आवर्स, देन ये जो टाइम है आपका, देन द टेस्टिंग पीरियड विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ सिंक्रोनाइजेशन. और अगर 72 घंटे में नहीं हुआ, 72 घंटे मीन 3 डेज, आपका सिंक्रोनाइजेशन हुआ 8 दिन बाद, देन ये 8 दिन भी टेस्टिंग पीरियड में ही काउंट हो जाएंगे. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड वेरी केयरफुली. इफ सिंक्रोनाइजेशन इज डन विद इन 72 आवर्स, देन ये जो इनिशियल 72 आवर्स था, ये टाइम टेस्टिंग पीरियड में काउंट नहीं होगा. मान लीजिए 50 घंटे में आपका सिंक्रोनाइजेशन हो गया, यू आर वेरी लकी, विच इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट इन 50 आवर्स और 40 आवर्स. सपोज यू आर सक्सेसफुल इन कनेक्टिंग विद द ग्रिड फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ इंजेक्टिंग स्टीम इनटू द टरबाइन. Within 40 hours you could connect. तो ठीक है, ये 40 घंटे खत्म. अब आपकी टेस्टिंग स्टार्ट हो गया वहीं से, फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ सिंक्रोनाइजेशन. अब आपको 72 घंटे कंटिन्यूअस चलाना है from that time synchronization से. If you fail, तो अब टेस्टिंग पीरियड आपने 3 महीने का लिया है, तो टेस्टिंग पीरियड का मीटर चालू हो गया फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ सिंक्रोनाइजेशन विद द ग्रिड. और अगर 72 घंटे में नहीं किया, देन इट विल बी टेकन फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ इंजेक्शन ऑफ स्टीम टरबाइन. वो 8 दिन लगे मान लीजिए, तो 8 दिन भी आपका टेस्टिंग पीरियड में काउंट हो जाएगा. तो देयर आर 2 स्टेप्स. एक तो मैंने बोला 72 घंटे में सिंक्रोनाइजेशन होना चाहिए. दूसरा ये है, if however and secondly it has to run continuously for 72 hours, okay, and for continuously for 72 hours at full load with synchronization with the grid, then only it is considered as completed, testing is completed. If however at the time of synchronization exceeds 72 hours, the time of introduction of ये वही मैंने बताया, अगर 72 घंटे से ज्यादा लग गया स्टीम देने के बाद, तो फिर ये पूरा टाइम भी आपको that will be treated as testing period. अब TSE ने एक और चीज बताया था which is not being used, nobody is taking this additional premium. उन्होंने बोला था कि ये जो है charge additional premium if the trial operation at full load is allowed to be conducted for a period in excess of 72 hours. मान लो 72 hours is the requirement. लेकिन कई बार क्या है, प्लांट वाले बोलते हैं नहीं सर 72 hours नहीं, हम तो 90 hours कनेक्ट करेंगे. तो ठीक है, ये बाकी जो एक्स्ट्रा है उसका एक्स्ट्रा प्रीमियम लो. बट दिस थिंग इज नॉट वेरी मच इन प्रैक्टिस. nobody is charging, nobody is giving more than 72 hours.
Sir, one query.
बोलिए.
Sir, nowadays NTPC is allotting these projects in like packages. Like if a phase 2 project is coming, one package is allotted to one contractor, another package is allotted to another different contractor. Now, and insurance is also in the scope of contractor. Principal is not taking the policy now.
Yes.
Now, suppose one of the contractor is handling the ash handling system. So for him, and the integral testing will be done once all the entire packages is completed, right? So in these kind of cases, whatever the contractors they are taking policy, it has to cover the integral testing also.
Integral testing is a part of your testing period. See, every contractor is taking individual policy for erection, plus he is taking for this
testing
your testing, hot testing.
Okay.
Now, ultimately, the EPC contractor, the main contractor, actually in this case, someone उसे बोलते हैं turnkey contractor.
Okay.
So the client, the principal is not a fool. He will not appoint 5 contractors individually and let them go. No, he will appoint a turnkey contractor. That means you are responsible for completion of my project. Now you give subcontracts to other contractors. It is your baby. I am appointing you 100%. So that turnkey contractor subcontracts various contractors. किसी को अपना ऐसे बताया आपका चिमनी का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दिया, किसी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को उसने कूलिंग टावर का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया. So ultimately the policy is mainly given to one contractor with integral testing period of 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months, whatever is considered. तो जब हर एक का इंडिविजुअल टेस्टिंग हो जाएगा कॉन्ट्रैक्टर का, then it will come, they will be kept idle, and then ultimately the course of integral testing will come into picture. Is that clear? So turnkey contractor is supposed to take integral testing, and that is the final testing.
Okay. In case if turnkey is not there, sir, in a scenario where the
turnkey बड़े प्रोजेक्ट में तो turnkey रहेगा. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि two different contractors they are working. One contractor, main turnkey contractor ही बोलते हैं उसे, या EPC contractor भी बोलते हैं, है ना? है ना? तो वो जरूरी है. It is a must. Otherwise, nobody is responsible. ना फिर integral testing किसकी पॉलिसी में है?
That is a
two policies cannot be given. It is given only in main contractor's policy.
Got it, sir. Clear.
So this whatever I have explained, 72 hours clause, that is the original wording, and this is simplified wording. Simplified वही चीज है, the same thing which I have explained. Okay, you can go through, and the same thing I have reproduced in simple language just for understanding. Now comes your maintenance period cover. Okay, just a minute. Please check whether recording is going on or not. चल रहा है recording?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So maintenance period cover. There are two maintenance period covers. Okay. I'll explain. There are two covers, maintenance period. One is your limited maintenance, another is extended maintenance. Okay. Limited maintenance, it covers only the damage to the contract works. Okay. While carrying out the maintenance activity during the maintenance period. During the maintenance period, any loss which takes place, it falls under maintenance period cover. And your limited maintenance covers only when the maintenance activity is being done. The contractor is performing some maintenance activity and there is a loss, that will be paid under limited maintenance cover. For example, while carrying out the maintenance of feed water pump, the contractor damages a set of bearing. Now he was carrying out the maintenance of feed water pump, but at the time of opening or fitting or cleaning or repairing some component, he damages the set of bearing. Now it will be covered under limited maintenance period cover, this kind of loss. Understand? Another example, if similarly, in case of motor winding, it is damaged during the course of maintenance activity by short circuiting. Now he was carrying out maintenance activity of an electrical motor. Due to short circuiting, the winding is damaged. They are burnt. So again, the cost necessary to replace the winding would be payable under the policy. It would be paid because this is limited maintenance cover. Now let us see extended maintenance. Extended maintenance is a wider cover. Now it covers your limited maintenance. This is A is limited maintenance. वो तो cover है इसमें. That means if you take extended maintenance, then there is no need to take limited maintenance cover because it is automatically built in. So part A is already a limited maintenance while carrying out the maintenance activity. इसके अलावा additional thing is any loss or damage to the contract works occurring during the maintenance period. The loss is discovered at the time of maintenance, during the maintenance period, nothing to do with while carrying out the maintenance. The loss is simply observed. Like, for example, there are cracks in a machinery outer casing. Now it is a defect. Nothing is correlated with the maintenance activity. It was not, this crack is developed not at the time of carrying out the maintenance, just during the maintenance period. The machine is running, during the maintenance period a crack is developed. So this will be paid under extended maintenance cover, provided, this provided is very important, this loss was caused on the site during the erection period, before certificate of completion of the item was given. So if the loss has taken place during the erection period, but it is observed or it has surfaced during the maintenance period, it could not be caught during the testing. It has passed the testing, then only it has come to the completion stage. Na? Unfortunately, it passed the testing and finally it reached into this stage. Okay, so those losses can be paid provided it is established. Now this thing is very important. That is the reason no claim has been settled in India, because it is very difficult. I have not seen. I checked the net and all that. I could not find any claim. Whatever claims were lodged, they were declined. And the matter is going in two cases. I could find litigation is going on. And in one case, the court has awarded in favor of the client. They said no, it was erection period loss and you pay the liability. Insurance company has been awarded. The decision is awarded against the insurance company. But directly, no company has paid. Reason being, the surveyor immediately says to the client, you establish that this loss has taken place during the erection period. It is very, very difficult to establish that. And that is why they fail. And another problem is, even if the insured tries to establish something, this insurance company's surveyor is not going to accept. They'll say nothing. I don't agree with this. How do you say it has taken place just 5 years back? Then how did it pass testing? If it was done that time, this crack was there. Why it was not at the time of testing? How did it perform well? All these queries, they come into picture. Okay. Now, example for this, B, extended maintenance. During the maintenance period, a motor shaft breaks. Now, when it is broken, there are two pieces, motor shaft, and it was found that it was due to bad alignment of the motor to the machinery. Okay, shaft has broken due to bad alignment from the motor to the machinery during the erection period. Now, if it is established, then of course this loss will be payable under EMP, erection maintenance period cover. Okay. Now there are many examples of losses under extended maintenance period cover. In one of the air conditioning plant, the cooling capacity of the air conditioning system of a commercial building, it decreased during the maintenance period. Okay. Due to issue with the compressor. Now during survey, it was established that there was some fault during the erection of the compressor prior to testing. There was some erection fault. Okay. And the claim for necessary repair or replacement of damaged DA was settled by the insurance company because it was established that there was some problem during some fault during erection of compressor prior to testing. It was established, that is why this claim was paid. Okay. एक मिनट बॉस होल्ड करना, जस्ट अ मिनट. Yes. Sorry. Have to go. Okay, let us continue. Let us see another example. In another case, it was a case of aerial ropeway. So a ropeway was installed for carrying the passengers. So in that case, the ropeway started experiencing mechanical failure and cable wear of cable, ropeway cable, wire. During the maintenance period, it started happening. So these faults were experienced. There was a mechanical failure in ropeway, and there was a wear and tear. I mean, cable wear was there in the cable rope. And it was established. Again, they were very lucky to successfully establish. Then there was some fault, bad workmanship during the erection phase of the ropeway. So this claim was settled under extended maintenance period. But these cases I have taken from foreign market, not India. India, mein, nothing has been settled. In international market, I could find these two cases where the claims were settled. But in India, nothing has been, because here it is very difficult to establish that this loss has taken place during the erection phase. Now let us go to important clauses quickly, because we are left with hardly half an hour. We can stretch up to 1:15 because initially we wasted a lot of time. So we'll continue. Then we will have a question answer session. No problem. I don't mind sitting late. The very first, now I am talking of important extensions. This owner surrounding property extension is important. There are some critical issues which I could find, and that is what I want to highlight. This extension covers loss or damage to the surrounding property of the owner. Surrounding property of the owner located at the project site if the damage is caused directly due to erection or construction or testing of the property covered under the policy. So, if there is a loss to the owner's property, principal's property, which is there at the construction site, पहले से ही है, उसका कुछ existing factory है, and this is given in case of brownfield project. Brownfield project वो होते हैं, there are two projects, one is greenfield and another is brownfield. Greenfield वो हैं, they are starting from scratch, nothing is there on the project site. वहां जरूरत नहीं है because there is no existing property. But in case of brownfield means one project is already running and he is going for capacity enhancement. Okay, nearby, just at a gap of 50 meters or 100 meters, he is constructing another line or another new project is coming. For example, there is a sugar mill and then he is installing a distillery plant nearby afterwards, after say 3 years, 4 years. So in that case, this existing sugar plant will become existing owner surrounding property if the policy is given to distillation section, distillery unit, erection of this distillery unit, then this existing sugar plant will become owner surrounding property, and then this extension is supposed to be given. Okay. Now, this red portion I have highlighted intentionally. What do we mean by owner surrounding property? Owner surrounding means any property belonging to principal which was in existence at the time of commencement of ER policy. जब उसने ER policy शुरू की, at that time whatever property was there at the construction site, that will be taken into as owner surrounding property. This extension is needed when the insured takes CR policy for the extension work. I have already explained. This cover does not apply to contractors' plant and machinery. Please understand. Contractor plant and machinery are not the owner surrounding property. Temporary building, cement, godown, etc. These are the part of project, and this is supposed to be covered under CPM policy, not owner OSP. इसमें OSP नहीं है. And the limit maximum it is given up to 25% of policy sum insured. This is all about OSP. So this particular point is important. Why I have highlighted this particular point? In CAR policy, one of the CAR policy, it was a construction of tower, 10-storied tower. The contractor and the principal, they decided to construct 6 floors only initially because they did not have the required approval to go above 6 floors. Okay. So they constructed 6 floors. It was ready. They sold out those flats and people started living in those six-story flats. Principal has taken over that possession of those flats. Now, after 3 years, the principal decided that I'll construct another 10 floors over and above the 6. And now he wants coverage of these existing 6 floors also, which are in operation under OSP. Now it will be a problem because now this becomes a property which is worked upon. Worked upon, this word is very important. Okay. So this existing 6 floors are there. It will be a property which is being worked upon. इसी के ऊपर आप काम कर रहे हैं. So any property which is being worked upon is not considered as owner surrounding property. This has to be noted. Okay. So in that case, he will have to take operational policy only. This owner surrounding property में ये coverage नहीं होगा. Then comes, I told you, cross liability cover. It is very important. So in case of cross liability cover, this extension can be given. Just a minute. So third party cover, the third party cover can be extended. So this extension, this is the cross liability cover is an extension of TPL, third party liability cover. So this extension shall be given when the multiple contractors and subcontractors, they are working at one site. In that situation, there is a possibility that property, personal property like CPM, personal property means what? Contractors, plant and machinery, that is damaged by the contractor, by the property of another subcontractor. Okay, तो ये सब क्या है? In that case, nothing is third party. Third party कौन है इसमें? Neither the subcontractor is third party nor the contractor is third party, or two subcontractors, they are not third party, they are very much related to the project. Third party means an outsider which is not related to the project. Here all subcontractors and contractors, they are working, they are not third party. तो उनका जो डैमेज होगा वो टीपीएल में कैसे कवर करेंगे? You can't cover under TPL. In order to facilitate, make the provision, this extension cross liability cover is given. Here the company says, by virtue of this cross liability cover, each contractor is considered as if a separate TPL policy is given to every subcontractor. तो अब हर एक को एक आपने थर्ड पार्टी पॉलिसी दे दी. Every contractor is given, subcontractor or contractor, उनका नाम सबका लिखना पड़ेगा. You will have to write down the name of all contractors and subcontractors who are working on the construction site, जहां पे लॉस होने का पॉसिबिलिटी है. And in that case, this kind of losses, एक क्रेन दूसरे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के आपस में बूम टकरा गए. मल्टीपल क्रेन्स दे आर वर्किंग एट अ कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट and boom of two cranes, they collide and they are pertaining to different subcontractors. अब दोनों को डैमेज हुआ, कहां जाएगा उनका लॉस? सीपीएम पॉलिसी will not pay. Okay, it will go under what? It will go under cross liability cover. Okay, so this is the advantage of cross liability cover. Now it has got certain exclusions. This will not pay loss or damage to the project material, okay, under the policy, even if they are not recoverable due to an excess. So in case there is a damage to project material, which is a part of your section 1, so that will not be paid, even if the loss is falling within the excess amount. Second क्या है? Fatal or non-fatal injury, that will also not be paid, even if they don't have workman compensation policy. So these two things are not paid under cross liability cover. Okay, now design defect cover. There are different DE1, DE2. I'll explain everything. So DE1, first of all, understand what is DE1. It is outright rejection, means nothing is covered. DE1 means no claim is payable if there is a defect in design. Simple. In case the machinery is damaged due to breakage or failure of part, which is a design defect found defective in design, nothing is paid. Now extended maintenance defective condition exclusion. Now it comes to DE2. DE2 is what? The policy excludes damage. First of all, it does not pay to a damage to a property which is defective in condition, which itself is in this defective condition, nothing is paid. Plus, property which relies for its support, वो प्रॉपर्टी जो इसके सपोर्ट पर खड़ी हुई है, इस डिफेक्टिव मशीनरी के सपोर्ट पर, कंपोनेंट के सपोर्ट पर, that is also not paid. However, what is paid? These two things are not paid. First of all, defective machinery, defective part, component, that is not paid, and other components which are linked to this defective component, they are also not paid. However, जो property free of defects है, surrounding property nearby, वो सब पे हो जाएगा. Now example, let us see one example. So defective design of foundation. Foundation is defective. With the result, because of this defective design, what happens? The machine is overturning of machinery. Machine overturns due to excessive vibrations. ये थोड़ा setting अभी सही कर दूंगा, arrow का setting बराबर नहीं हो रहा है. Then what it results into? Because of this overturning, the machinery is damaged, and the surrounding property, nearby machinery is also got damaged because of toppling of this machinery. Understood? So first of all, foundation damage हुआ, उसकी वजह से that machinery got damaged, and not only that machine, the nearby machineries, they also got damaged. Now in this case, as per DE2, if DE2 extension is given, we pay only to the surrounding machinery only. Damage to the surrounding machinery, not to the foundation, not to the machinery. Okay, इनका नहीं देके बाकी surrounding machinery का loss दिया जाएगा. Now this is an important thing. Don't get confused. People make mistake. D3 is not given in ER policy. It is given only in CAR policy. So now since we are talking of EAR, we will not discuss D3 because D3 is not applicable in case of EAR. So directly D1, D2 and then comes D4. D3 is not given in ER policy. We make this mistake also. D4 is not given in CAR and D3 is not given in EAR. Just remember this always. Now what is D4? D4 is defective part exclusion. Only the part which is defective in design, that is not paid, rest everything is paid. Okay. Other things are paid, only the faulty part, it is not paid. For example, machinery failed during testing due to failure of a part having faulty design. एक part fail हुआ, the design was faulty, material was faulty, it failed, so entire machinery failed, means damage to the entire machinery. Now what we will pay? Company would pay repairs and replacement cost of entire machinery. They will definitely pay. Plus, they will pay the damage to the surrounding property, nearby machinery, if damaged. वो भी pay करेंगे. But what it will not pay? No payment for cost of defective component or part. उसके लिए कोई payment नहीं है. बाकी rest everything will be paid under D4. Now comes D5. अच्छा वो हमने दिया नहीं है. D5 इसलिए नहीं दिया है. I'll just explain because it is not given in India. But you should know what is DE5. DE5 में ये भी पे हो जाएगा. ये जो no payment लिखा है, if it is given, normally it is not given because it is a treaty exclusion. DE5 is not given, but you should know what is DE5. In DE5, this 1, 2, and 3. All three things are paid. What is not paid? The cost of improvement of design. Because if it is found the design is defective, the principal is definitely interested in going for a change in design. Otherwise, next claim again it will not be paid. One claim is rejected because of defective design. Then he will hire a consultant, design consultant, and will go for improvement in design. That cost is not payable. Rest everything is paid. Okay. That is in DE5, but DE5 is not given. Now these are the examples of DE4 extension. What is case 1? अब ये examples आप लोग देख लेना. I have explained the fundamental because now we are running short of time. So examples, I'll submit this. I'll hand over this presentation to you. And in case of any problem in understanding, these are very simple. Okay, no question of not understanding. So you will understand from the examples. This is one example, and this is another example, case 2, because I don't want to devote time on these examples only. You can go through it. Very simple. In case of any difficulty, you can raise the question in the group. I'll be very much there. That is why I am insisting, and I am repeating once again. Those who have not joined the WhatsApp group, please join. A copy of presentation will be uploaded, as well as the link for recording of this presentation. That will also shall be uploaded on the group only. And then whatever queries you have, we will discuss those queries on the WhatsApp group itself. So please join. Those who have not joined, please do it. The joining link was given along with this joining link of meeting. So those are the two examples. Acha, DE5 bhi diya hua hai. Very good. After the example, the same thing I have already explained. It will exclude the cost of improvement in defective design. बाकी सब दे देंगे. ये इसका example है. You can go through. So इसमें everything we will pay, but exclude the cost of improvement in design. Okay. Now this is one photograph of a turbine rotor, just to explain how this steam turbine rotor is. It looks like it is 500 megawatt steam turbine. This rotor, number of blades. This is the high pressure turbine. This is the medium pressure, IP, intermediate pressure, and this is the low pressure. Now we were talking about continuity cover. Yes, we will discuss this. As I explained, if some part is required, it is tested and commissioned, erected, tested and commissioned, but it is waiting for completion of the project, then this continuity cover can be allowed on till completion of integral part. अब इसमें suppose ये testing हो गया and project is still, it is going to take 8 months, 12 months, 15 months, depending upon the duration, this continuity cover is granted for that period so that it remains covered till expiry of the policy. Understand? Here, some of the insurance companies says that I will not give more than 6 months. It is not covered. It is not correct. This is the genuine requirement of the insured. If the integral testing is required to be done after 12 months, he will definitely ask for 12 months coverage under continuity cover. So यहाँ पे we should not be rigid, but many insurance companies have filed this continuity cover for a maximum period of 6 months. Then they are helpless. They say, my dear, I have not filed for more than 6 months. So in that case, it will be a big issue for the contractor. This example I have already given. In case of combined cycle power plant, the gas turbine is completed, and now it will have to wait for the successful completion of integral testing. Now this
sir, one condition is that it should not be put for commercial use, correct?
Exactly. It should not be allowed to run. It is kept in just in working condition. उसके लिए जो कई बार क्या होता है, थोड़ा बहुत उसको रोटेट करके टर्निंग करके बीच में रखा जाता है. It is not used for commercial purpose. You are very right. This is one condition. Now this is the condition, special condition concerning construction and erection time schedule. This condition says, what it says, if there is a deviation between the scheduled time schedule and the actual time schedule, okay, if it is more than number of weeks which is inserted in this, I'll give example so you will understand, then the loss is not paid. For example, the normal practice is to write maximum 4 weeks. Not more than 4 weeks, we are giving this. It is good. We are not giving for more than 4 weeks. So up to 4 weeks, if the deviation between the actual completion of work, time schedule जो उसका दिया हुआ था, bar chart as per the bar chart. Say for example, at the time of loss, now you compare. The scheduled as work schedule, it should complete 80% of the work. but actual due to slippage of project, suppose it is found to be 30% or 40% only. That means we are lagging behind, the contractor is lagging behind the work schedule by more than 4 weeks. If it is within 4 weeks, it's okay. If it is more than 4 weeks, then the claim will be prejudiced. अब उसको reject करें, substandard करें, that is up to the insurance company, but the claim will be prejudiced if this endorsement is attached to the policy. Okay. Especially this MR005 is designed to give that kind of project like construction of copper dam, construction of river bridge. Us cases mein, this schedule is very important. This normally in other kind of projects, this MR005 is not insisted upon. Insurance company अगर लगा रही है तो वो गलत लगा रही है. It should not be, because client is in majority of the cases brokers will not agree for this. वो तो normal project में भी नहीं agree करेंगे. But I would suggest in such cases where there is a involvement of construction of copper dam, etc., or river bridges, etc., wherever there is a wet works or works in water, then this time schedule, because we don't want that monsoon to come. Suppose this contract was as per the schedule, we were happy that this critical work will be over before the onset of monsoon. Now they are running behind and the loss has taken place during peak monsoon, then claim will not be paid. Now you can reject unless this endorsement is there. If there is no endorsement, you can't deny the claim in that case. Okay. So this is good for the insurance.
Sir, they can take the extension, sir.
What extension?
Sir, if the policy is about to close and still they are behind the time schedule, they can take extension, sir. 1 month.
But don't get confused with the extension of policy. I am not talking about expiry of the policy. I am talking at the time of loss. How much is the completion level and what was scheduled to be completed? मतलब कितना complete, what was required to be completed at the time of loss and what is actually done. If the gap is more than 4 weeks, then claim is prejudiced. This is what I am saying. You get me?
Yes, sir. Now I clear, sir. Thank you.
That is important.
Sir, the full form of MR is?
MR, ये जो है Munich and endorsements. Actually, sometimes people write MR, sometimes they write MRE, Munich endorsements. These are the codification. Wordings are given as per those MRE wordings, Munich endorsements. Okay? The standardized wordings are there. So in these cases, आपका वो filed wording नहीं चलता है. In engineering, these wordings are standardized and each company prefers to use MRE wordings because they are standardized. Otherwise, कोई अपनी wording use करेगा, कोई use करेगा, that will become a drama. No, that is not recommended. Another is MRE या MR013. This is property at offsite storage. उसके लिए endorsement है. Wherever there is a offsite storage, this endorsement is used. What it says, the insured will not pay the loss at the offsite storage. Offsite storage क्या होता है? Near the project site, main working site, the additional supplies which are coming or some minor fabrication work. Offsite storage or fabricators premises, these are two different things. Okay. Offsite storage is meant 100% for storage, excess material which has come, and there is no place at the construction site to store that material, heavy material. In that case, they hire a place, they normally hire a nearby plot which is occupied and they decide this is my offsite storage. So there, if the claim takes place, if it is to be declared in the policy, my offsite storage site is this, sum insured is this, and the company applies the loss limit also in that case. Sum insured is given, loss limit is given, and territorial limit is also given. Within how many kilometers it should be there? 3 things are there. Territorial limit is also important. You cannot have the offsite storage 100 kilometers away. It should be within 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, somewhere, something like that. Whatever has been agreed by the insurance company at the time of underwriting. So they will pay only if The storage area is enclosed, guarded, protected. These are Munich wordings. Otherwise, Indian wordings में ये सब नहीं होता. And they are protected against fire as appropriate for the particular location and type of property stored. So वहाँ पे what type of extinguishers should be there, how many numbers of extinguishers should be there, it all depends upon the type of property stored. Okay. Another condition says the separating distance between the two storage units should not be less than 50 meters. If it is less than 50 meters, then what it says, there has to be a fireproof wall in between the two storage units. It should be separated by a fireproof wall. And the third thing is positioning and designing of storage in such a way that to prevent the damage by accumulation of water. That means just a minute. These storage units should be stored in such a way so that they are protected by flooding or by rainfall or by flood with a statistical return period of 20 years. 20 साल का return period के हिसाब से suppose उसमें क्या होगा, then the client is supposed to check with local IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, how much is the maximum flood level in this construction site at this site in last 20 years. Suppose they say maximum यहाँ पे जो flood आया है 2.5 feet का आया है at this construction site in last 20 years. Now the client is supposed to store all material above 2.5. 3 feet कम से कम height पे रखना है उसको. So this is what he is supposed to take care as per this endorsement. Otherwise, loss will not be paid. If you want a loss, you have to make sure that return period of 20 years has to be taken into consideration. Okay, for flood, inundation, rainfall, and all these things. So limit is to be decided. Storage limit, AOA limit. Both limits, storage limits and territorial limit. 3 things have to be decided in this. This is all about MR 013. Then MR 102.
Storage limit means in terms of price or in terms of quantity?
In terms of values. The total storage should not be more than 50 crores or 100 crores at this particular site. This is one limit. Another is per accident limit. AOA is any one accident. That means not more than 5 crores loss will be paid in a single accident. These 2 limits are fixed by the insurance company. Strictly if they are going as per Munich Re endorsement. But many times Indian companies and brokers, they mutually decide that we will not put AOA. Any one accident नहीं रखते हैं, मैंने नहीं देखा. It is theoretically it is there, but in majority of the policy, I found this AOA limit is not there. Maximum overall limit is there. Okay. Then come existing underground cables, pipes, and other facility. This endorsement is again very much important in case of your laying of pipeline, because digging of trench is required in that project. So this basically endorsement is attached to that laying of pipeline. Again, there is a confusion. Laying of pipeline, people think it will go under CR. No, laying of pipeline comes under EAR. Reason being, in EAR tariff, this project is laying of pipeline is categorized under EAR tariff, not under CAR. That is why I have included this endorsement under EAR presentation. Now, what this endorsement says that the claim will be paid only if damage to existing underground cables or pipes or any kind of cables, telephone wires, water and gas pipelines, sewage lines, or any other pipeline. Okay, this shall not be liable. Insurance company will not be liable for damage to any other thing at the time of digging the trench. Okay, that time there is a possibility of damage of underground cables, pipelines, all these things. So it says it will not be liable unless before commencement of work, what he has done, he is supposed to do. If he has done all these things, then only the claim will be paid, otherwise not. What is supposed to be there? Insured has requested and obtained the public authorities and the owners of such underground systems the exact position of all these cables and pipes. Insured has done this exercise. He has made efforts, okay, to obtain the location before digging the trench. Okay, this is one condition. And the insured has traced their existence and indicated location. वो भी उसने कर दिया है. The indemnity. So if these two things have been done, and if despite taking these precautions, still there is a loss due to negligence of the worker, not intentional. उसे पता है यहाँ केबल है, फिर भी गलती से वो एक्सकेवेटर उसने चला दिया. Loss is paid because he has taken all precautions. He knows there was a cable. He was careful, but still negligence is negligence, na? Okay, so that claim will be paid. So इसमें क्या है? What is the condition? Any one accident, this limit, indemnity limit is restricted to repair cost of such cables or pipe. Replacement नहीं देंगे, repairing देंगे. जहाँ damage हुआ है, many times ये जो है contractors they ask for replacement of entire cable. Sorry, only the repairing damage will be there for pipeline or cables, or any consequential loss is also excluded in terms of this MR 102. Now MR 107, I am discussing only important warranties. Warranty concerning camps and stores. What it says that camps and stores mean वही आपका ऑफ-साइट स्टोरेज था ना, उसी तरह से है. यहाँ भी स्टोरेज एरियाज, स्टोरेज लोकेशन. यहाँ बोल रहे हैं द डैमेज टू स्टोर्ड मटेरियल, damage to directly or ये endorsement ये shall indemnify, the insurance company will pay loss or damage to stored material, okay, by flood, fire or inundation only if the stored material, camps and stores are located above the highest level recorded anywhere on the site during the last 20 years. वही 20 years period condition is stored here. The insurance company will pay only if the insured contractor has stored the project material higher than the maximum level achieved as per the IMD data for 20 years return period of floods. Okay. और दूसरा कंडीशन क्या है? एक तो ये कंडीशन हो गया, एंड इंडिविजुअल स्टोरेज यूनिट्स इफ दे आर separated by 50 meters, then only claim will be paid. Otherwise, fire claim will not be paid. This 50-meter condition is applicable to fire claim, and this is for STFI claims, 20 years return period. So two things they are supposed to keep at a safe height. Safe height means what? Obtain the data from IMD, Meteorological Department. What is the maximum level of accumulation of water at this site in last 20 years? 20 years data he has to check. Store the material above that, because surveyor is going to ask for this information. The moment there is a loss, surveyor will go to the site, he will see this condition is there, warranty is there. He will ask, show me the IMD data. Go and purchase. Go find out the data. And if it is found, maximum level जो है 2 feet का था, and the material is stored at 1 feet only, या फिर it was lying at the ground, claim will not be paid. Surveyor will reject the claim of that material. And the limit of indemnity is also defined. Okay. फिर है ये आपका construction material, MR 109. This is another important extension. What it says again the same, almost similar. कि यहाँ भी जो construction material है, उसका payment, the insurance company will pay the construction material directly caused by flood inundation only if the construction material does not exceed ये इसमें यहाँ एक और कंडीशन है, 20 साल वाली रिक्वायरमेंट है, दिस इज 20 years रिक्वायरमेंट. What it says, the construction material should not be stored more than 3 days demand. 3 दिन का जो डिमांड उसका है बस उतना ही स्टोर करिए, उससे ऊपर का अगर आपको स्टोर करना है, देन एक्सीडिंग quantities, they should be stored at a place which is safe based on 20 years return period of the floods in that area. 3 दिन का लॉस आप कहीं भी रख लो, no problem, the company will pay 3 days loss. But for exceeding quantity, उसके ऊपर का माल, उसका पेमेंट तभी करेंगे when it was stored at a safer place. Safer place means it was above the level based on 20 years return period of floods. इसका एक क्लेम हुआ था, I remember, and the loss exceeding 3 days in demand was rejected because surveyor found it was lying on ground only, and the instead of 3 days वहां करीब 15 दिन का माल पड़ा हुआ था. 15 days consumption of stored material was lying at the construction site. So only 3 days demand वाला जो था उसका requirement that was paid, remaining period was not paid. Okay. This is another condition. ये भी सब precipitation, different condition, either of these three, camps storage, ये वाला और ये तुम्हारा construction site, ये अलग है, ये सबके लिए है. That is, ये this is 109 is only for stored construction material only. This is for 110 is entire 100% of the project material, including stores, everything. जो project site है, उसका लिए है. यहां भी वही कहता है कि the client is supposed to take enough precaution, है ना, so that to take safeguard interest, keeping the return period of 20 years in respect of precipitation, rainfall, floods, or inundation. And he is supposed to take adequate safety measures at the construction site. If the safety measures are not taken, okay, considering the return period of 20 years for floods, then loss is not paid. और एक इसमें कंडीशन और है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ये जो कंडीशन लिखा है, दिस लॉस, डैमेज और लायबिलिटी रिजल्टिंग फ्रॉम इंश्योर्स नॉट इमीडिएटली रिमूविंग ऑब्स्ट्रक्शंस. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंडीशन है, क्योंकि फ्लड के केस में ये सब जो है, सैंड है, सिल्ट है, ट्रीज हैं, पेड़ के टुकड़े हैं और डेबरे वगैरह है, सब बहता हुआ आता है. So the insured is supposed to clean the construction site from all these things immediately, so that water choking नहीं होनी चाहिए. Water is coming from one end and it is going flow, okay, और बीच से मान लीजिए कोई चैनल जा रहा है, वाटर चैनल, okay, तो तो यही बोल रहा है, not immediately removing the obstruction from the water course within the construction site, whether carrying water or not, चाहे उसमें पानी बह रहा है चाहे नहीं, लेकिन आपको सब क्लीन रखना है. In order to maintain free water flow, shall not be indemnifiable. If he fails to keep the water channels clean as per the requirement of this warranty, then again loss will not be paid. Okay. Here 116 hai. This is regarding contract works put into use. So those who are completed, part of the work which is completed, it goes out of the purview of your project policy. So in order to bring this into the policy, keep this into the policy, put to use add-on cover is given. Understand? So loss or damage to the contract works taken over or put into service, which is put into service, usko bhi cover karna hai, because the principal has not accepted the part liability. हैंडिंग ओवर, वो प्रिंसिपल कहता है मुझे तो पूरा प्रोजेक्ट एक साथ दो, पीसेस में मैं नहीं लूंगा. इन दैट केस पुट टू यूज एड ऑन कवर कैन बी गिवन. लेकिन ये सीआर में ज्यादा कॉमन है, वहां बहुत जरूरत है, स्पेशली इन केस ऑफ रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोजेक्ट. आउट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट ऑफ 100 kilometers रोड, 40 kilometers road is completed, or 10 kilometer road is completed. Now it is open for traffic. The moment it is open for traffic, whether it is taken over by the principal or not, but it is put into service. ट्रैफिक तुरंत खोलना पड़ता है द मोमेंट रोड इज कंप्लीटेड. मैनी टाइम इट इज वाइडनिंग, द प्रोजेक्ट इज वाइडनिंग ऑफ एक्सिस्टिंग रोड, तो ट्रैफिक तो चल रहा है दोनों साइड से. अब वो क्या करेगा, एक साइड ब्लॉक करेगा कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, दूसरी साइड से सारा ट्रैफिक निकालेगा, डाइवर्जन. नाउ द मोमेंट लेफ्ट साइड इज 4 लेन का 6 लेन उसने कर लिया, इमीडिएटली वो क्या करेगा, स्विच ओवर टू राइट साइड एंड द डाइवर्जन विल बी शिफ्टेड. जो कंप्लीटेड रोड है दैट विल बी पुट इनटू यूज. तो उस केस में दिस क्लॉज इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अदरवाइज द मोमेंट इट इज पुट इनटू यूज, इफ देयर इज अ लॉस और डैमेज टू दैट प्रॉपर्टी, इट इज आउट ऑफ द कवरेज. तो ये सीआर पॉलिसी में ज्यादा यूज होता है. यहां पे क्या है, पुट टू यूज होता नहीं है नॉर्मली इन इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स. जैसे मैंने सीपीपीपी का बताया,
पुट टू यूज में ऑपरेशनल पेरिल्स कवर होते हैं सारे.
पुट टू यूज में केवल ऑपरेशनल आपके कवर है पुट टू यूज में, लेकिन उसमें एओजी नहीं देते हैं. मैक्सिमम इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज दे हैव
ये
फाइल्ड
इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग अगर उसमें अगर होगा और उसने पुट टू यूज क्लॉज लिया है,
नहीं, यहाँ इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग अगर वाला क्लॉज है तो फिर कंटिन्यूटी कवर देंगे, फिर पुट टू यूज देंगे ही नहीं उसे. दैट इज वाई आई से, हाँ देंगे ही नहीं, उसके लिए तो कंटिन्यूटी कवर है. दैट इज स्पेशली डिजाइन फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन कि सम पार्ट इज कंप्लीटेड एंड इट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू बी यूज्ड एट द टाइम ऑफ इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग, फॉर दैट कंटिन्यूटी कवर इज देयर. पुट टू यूज इज बेसिकली आई टोल्ड यू फॉर सीआर पॉलिसीज, नॉट फॉर इंजीनियरिंग पॉलिसीज. इसमें ज्यादा यूज नहीं होता है. मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा कहाँ पुट टू यूज हमने दिया है. आई एम अनेबल टू रिकलेक्ट. अगर कहीं दिया है तो वो
तो बेसिकली ये कमर्शियल के लिए है. दिस क्लॉज इज फॉर कमर्शियल एंड दैट इज फॉर नॉन कमर्शियल इंटीग्रल, ऐसा कह सकते हैं.
इंटीग्रल ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते आप, कमर्शियल और नॉन कमर्शियल से मतलब नहीं है. दैट इज ऑल्सो कमर्शियल. गैस टर्बाइन वो तो कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन कर सकता है ना. द मोमेंट इट इज पुट इनटू ऑपरेशन ही कैन सेल दैट पावर.
But then integral testing should not be there, na? Integral cover cannot be given if it is put to
testing
commercial.
तब नहीं देंगे when it is put connected to the grid and he has started selling power to the grid. Then integral testing कुछ नहीं है. फिर then it goes out of the purview of the policy ना. उसके बाद अगर इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग करता है, आई टोल्ड यू ना, देन द क्लाइंट हैज टू डू इट एट हिज ओन कॉस्ट एंड रिस्क. अपनी रिस्क पे करेगा. देयर इज नो इंश्योरेंस कवरेज ड्यूरिंग द इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग. कवरेज तभी मिलेगा व्हेन कंटिन्यूटी कवर वाज टेकन, इट वाज ग्रांटेड एंड द मशीनरी वाज नॉट पुट इनटू यूज. टेस्टिंग करके उसको बस ब्रेक मार के रख दिया आइडल, इज नॉट यूजिंग इट फॉर कमर्शियल पर्पस. उसके बाद आपका 117 है, दिस इज लेइंग ऑफ वाटर सप्लाई, सीवेज पाइपलाइन. यही मैंने बोला, लेइंग ऑफ पाइपलाइन. तो जब लेइंग ऑफ पाइपलाइन में ये कंडीशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है 117.
सर सॉरी टू interrupt, sir. Sir, one query in put to use 116. Sir, anybody is giving any reinsurer is offering put to use on all risk basis?
All risk basis put to use in CR policy or ER policy?
CR both sir.
नहीं ER में तो put to use का ज्यादा यूज नहीं है, मैंने अभी बताया ना.
CR,
put to use का listen in put to use, yes I remember, अब मुझे याद आया. In case of engineering project, if there is a temporary construction of godown and godown is constructed and now it is put into use, वहां पे put into use add-on cover आप दे सकते हैं, extension. Second thing is cement godown का हो गया. कोई temporary access road which is constructed in engineering project, road is constructed, या फिर temporary bridge. Initially I gave 3 examples ना, temporary bridge where the river construction, river bridge is also constructed, there is a temporary bridge. Now after putting it to use, now it requires till the completion of the project. यहाँ integral testing नहीं है. But unless you continue with that temporary bridge till the entire bridge is constructed, you want this coverage. तो उसमें put to use उसमें लगा देते हैं. But AOG peril नहीं cover करते. This is what. अब it depends upon the insurance company. Mostly insurance companies have not filed AOG cover. They want to avoid. इनफैक्ट आज की डेट में मैं सही बताऊं, द फैक्चुअल पोजीशन इज सिंस एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग सोल्ड फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, सो इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज दे आर फोर्स्ड टू रिड्यूस द कवरेज. जितना श्रिंक कर सकते हो उतना करो, क्योंकि फ्री में जा रहा है, पैसा कोई देगा नहीं. अब एओजी भी हम देने लगे हैं, डू यू थिंक कोई पैसा देगा? ₹5 नहीं देगा.
Agree.
This is the sorry state of the market. That is why no company is applying, no company is filing AOG perils under put to use add-on cover. I am very blunt to say. Reason ये है,
Okay.
मैंने भी फाइल नहीं किया अपनी कंपनी.
Same applicable to CPM limit also, no, sir? Like nobody is
हाँ,
ready to
CPM का भी वही है. That is the reason. पैसा नहीं है.
Okay.
There is no additional premium. Why should I increase the limit? I'll force you to take CPM policy. वहां तो पैसा दोगे ना.
Yeah,
यहाँ
yeah,
मैं
exactly.
CPM extension दूंगा, ये फ्री में जाएगा. So I'll try to keep this limit as 25 lakhs only. I'm not interested. Otherwise, the genuine requirement is आज की डेट में तो 3-4 करोड़ का तो CPM कहीं भी होता है. It is a
Okay.
very genuine requirement. Okay.
Got it,
तो
sir.
ये ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड कह रहा हूँ because it has got nothing to do with presentation. लेकिन
Got it, sir.
मैं रोक नहीं पाया अपने को. This is the ground reality. That is
Yeah, yeah, sir. It's a market reality, sir.
market reality.
Thank you, sir.
That is the reason आज की डेट में तुम देखो graceful settlement word किसी की डिक्शनरी में नहीं है.
Yes.
Do you find any graceful settlement word? No.
No, sir. There is no any
What?
written, nothing. Nowhere it is.
Exactly. What graceful? If I find you on a wrong step, I'll immediately cut it. सीधे claim गया आपका. The moment तुम्हारा एक कदम इधर से उधर पड़ा, तो हो गया गलत. Gone. Claim is gone. In majority of the cases, fire cases, insurance companies are appointing forensic expert. आज की देखो, every second claim, forensic expert is coming. Investigators are appointed. Reason being, पैसा नहीं है देने को, प्रीमियम नहीं है, तो पैसा कहाँ है, क्लेम कहाँ से? तो क्लेम मैं कट शॉर्ट करूंगा, प्रीमियम मिल नहीं रहा है, मैं क्या करूंगा, फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट लगाऊंगा, सब लगाऊंगा कि कहीं कोई मुझे बता दे कि साहब ये गलती थी. आई विल रिजेक्ट द क्लेम, गो टू कोर्ट. ठीक है, आई विल फाइट. एंड दिस इज नॉट विद वन कंपनी, ईच कंपनी इज डूइंग लाइक दैट. Sorry, off the record.
Sir, one more thing.
Regarding that CPM, sir.
Oh,
Huh?
sir,
Bolo,
regarding this put to use, there
हाँ.
is one more Munikri endorsement which is 1202.
वो क्या है, मैंने देखा नहीं. What is that?
It says that same again, special insurance cover for property insured taken into user operation.
हाँ.
Shall I read the wording, sir?
नहीं, is it different than this one?
I'll just paste it in the message.
अभी नहीं करेंगे. Hey, don't deviate. Well, let me finish. Then we will आराम
okay,
से
sir.
करेंगे वो सब research. I'll be happy to discuss this at length because that
Done.
increases my knowledge also. So we will discuss, but let me finish this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
अभी slides काफी हैं. Just go through. Let me go through it.
Okay.
ये special condition. This is regarding laying of water pipeline. तो इसमें क्या बोलते हैं कि the insurer shall indemnify the loss due to flooding or silting of pipes, trenches, shafts, only up to a maximum length of open trench as stated below. Okay. इसमें क्या है? Now you see, these are the conditions. Then only the loss will be paid. Now it defines the pipes immediately after laying have been secured in such a manner by backfilling, they cannot be displaced if the trench is flooded. This is important. ये क्या वारंटी बोल रहा है? The moment you lay the pipe, तुरंत मट्टी भर दो. Don't keep it like this. Don't keep pipeline just without, at the bottom of the trench. Otherwise, if there is a rainfall, it will start floating. Displace हो जाएगी पूरी pipeline. रखे जाएंगे, joints खुल जाएंगे. To avoid that, what is recommended? Warranty says the moment you lay the pipeline, fill it so that it is intact, displaced नहीं हो. दूसरा क्या है? The pipes immediately after laying have to be closed to prevent water silt और ये from penetrating. उसके sides जो open ended हैं, they are to be closed. कैप लगा के उसको लगा के बंद करिए. Otherwise, what will happen if they are left open? Pipes जो हैं, in case of rains, ये मट्टी और ये सब they will enter into the pipeline and it will increase the loss liability, claim liability. उसको cleaning का खर्चा आ जाएगा. So the warranty says the loss will be paid only you have taken these precautions. That is why this endorsement is important. Third is the trench of tested pipe section have to be backfilled. वही चीज है. That has to be backfilled immediately upon completion of pressure test. Pressure test होने के बाद तुरंत उसकी backfilling कर दीजिए pipeline की. Maximum length इससे ज्यादा का आपका लॉस पे नहीं होगा. दिस लेंथ हैज टू बी डिफाइंड. 50 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, whatever is agreed depending upon the size of the proposal. Now 2 to 1. 2 to 1 and the other one is same. This is again safety measures. इससे पहले 110 देखा था ना. 11 and 2 to 1. It is same. The wording is almost same. It again says the loss will be payable only if the adequate safety measures have been taken. What adequate safety measures? It means the allowance, necessary allowance for a return period of 20 years is made in respect of precipitation, loss due to precipitation, flood and inundation. Okay. So on the basis of statistics prepared by Meteorological Department. Then loss damage resulting from insureds not immediately removing, वही चीज देखिए फिर आ गया, sand tree etc. water course from the side. ये duplication है wording का. Now important provision ER insurance claims, ये जरा देख लेते हैं जल्दी से provisions क्या हैं. Examples under erection all risk policy. Failure of turbine with faulty design. Faulty design से failure हो गया. What happened? After commissioning, अब now something claims related. After commissioning, a rotor, यार कितनी slides रह गई हैं अभी? कहीं ऐसा ना 70 है, बस यहाँ तक है. 78, 6-7 स्लाइड है. ठीक है, you can finish. थोड़ा एक्सीड करेगा बट सो इम्पोर्टेंट प्रोविजंस क्या है क्लेम में? फेलियर ऑफ टर्बाइन, व्हाट हैपेंड आफ्टर कमीशनिंग? रोटर फेल्ड बिकॉज ऑफ डिजाइन डिफेक्ट. ओके, डिजाइन डिफेक्ट, इम्बैलेंसिंग हुआ, इनएडिक्वेट डिजाइन, so this rotor failed. The fragment from the rotor damaged the generator casing, okay, bearing and foundation. In this case, the company did not pay the replacement and rectification cost of the rotor, which was found defective in design. तो डिजाइन जो डिफेक्टिव डिजाइन वाला पीस था उसको पे नहीं किया, बाकी पेड किया इसमें, बट पेड द कॉस्ट ऑफ अदर इंश्योर्ड आइटम्स. यही हमारा डिजाइन डिफेक्ट एंडोर्समेंट कहता है. द पार्ट विच इज डी फोर व्हाट इज द डिफेक्टिव पार्ट अलोन विल नॉट बी पेड, रेस्ट एवरीथिंग विल बी पेड. दिस इज द केस ऑफ DE4. Okay. Next is your crane lifting hook. This example I have given. This is a repetition of that. The bolt, the hook जो था, lifting hook, it damaged, which resulted, what happened? A crane hook broke while lifting the load, है ना, due to design defect. Again, there was a defect in casting. So the hook जो ऊपर hook रहता है ना, U shape में, half U, तो वो जो है that broke away due to failure in casting. Okay, and because of that there was a damage to newly erected roofing and the damaged machinery down below. Then company paid for the damaged item. Okay, and this example is the same, but the cost of the hook, it was not damaged, but did not pay the replacement cost of the hook because it was found defective in design. These are the various examples. These are the another example, transformer exploded during the testing phase. Multiple examples I have given for different situations. Transformer exploded during the testing phase due to bad workmanship, okay, in installation, cooling system. With the result, insured suffered heavy loss of transformer and surrounding property. So in this case, what happened? ये जो insulation वाला जो है, bad insulation in installation of cooling system. So in this case, ER policy did not pay the repairing and replacement cost of. एक मिनट. So insured जो है, ER policy did not pay the replacement cost of the ER did not pay the cost of repairing. ये faulty cooling system को pay नहीं किया है because it was defective in designing. But the repair cost of transformer, etc., which was exploded, it was paid. This is another example. यहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि because of this gas leaking of gas, because it was the joint was found to be defective in a chemical plant. So flammable gas started leaking, which caught fire. So in that case, the ER policy did not pay the cost of repairing of the defective pipe, but it paid the damage to the affected portion of the plant. तो लीकेज की वजह से आग लग गया, उससे प्लांट डैमेज हुआ, द पॉलिसी पेड एवरीथिंग बट इट डिड नॉट पे द डिफेक्टिव कॉस्ट ऑफ डिफेक्टिव पाइप. मतलब हाथी पे कर देंगे, चूहा नहीं पे करेंगे. इट इज लाइक दैट. थोड़ा डिफेक्टिव पाइप नहीं पे करेंगे बिकॉज इट वॉज डिफेक्टिव इन कंडीशन, बट रेस्ट एवरीथिंग वी विल पे. And that is all for today's session. Thank you very much. Or some of the questions we can take right now. And before going for question answer session, I want to announce one important thing, that my book on loss of profit, I think you people are aware. I don't know whether all are aware or not. That is gone for printing, and final editing and your setting, etc., is taking place. So I think it would be ready in another 15-20 days. So those who are interested, they can book a copy. Okay. Are you aware? How many of you are aware of this? Fire loss of this, not fire,
Yes,
fire
sir.
and machinery loss of profit. It is a book on business interruption insurance. It includes your fire as well as MB, LOP.
Yes, sir. We paid 100 rupees in advance.
जिसने किया है उसको क्या फायदा होगा, बस इतना बता दूं. कोई ऐसा नहीं है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल गेट योर बुक इन द फर्स्ट लॉट ऑफ प्रिंटिंग इटसेल्फ. फिर सेकंड लॉट लगेगा जब भी एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट. एंड सेकेंडली, ये डिस्पैच एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एटसेट्रा विल बी फ्री. वो अलग से नहीं देना. बाद में जितने लोग खरीदेंगे उनको कॉस्ट ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन विल आल्सो हैव टू पे. इधर लिंक्डइन से खरीद, वो से अमेजोन से खरीदें या डायरेक्टली ऑर्डर प्लेस करें, दे विल हैव टू बियर द कॉस्ट. ओके. So
Sir,
now,
one question. Sir, one
yeah.
question. We have paid the 100 rupees, but how these books were delivered? Because we have not given the addresses.
अरे सुनो, बस आप 100 रुपए में किताब थोड़ी मिलेगा. किताब का कॉस्ट है 850.
Okay.
तो आई विल बी डिमांडिंग 750 रुपए जब लूंगा ना, दैट टाइम आई विल कलेक्ट योर रेजिडेंशियल एड्रेस.
Okay. Okay.
आपको लग रहा है कि 100 रुपीज में ही किताब मिल जाएगा?
No, no, it is a booking. Just we book the.
It is booking.
paying
So
the 100 rupees.
when I will collect the balance amount of 750, that time I'll definitely ask for detailed address, na? Otherwise, how will I dispatch? That is quite logical. तो उस समय एड्रेस लूंगा. द मोमेंट आप एड्रेस देंगे, उस पर मैं प्रिंटर को, उसी को, पब्लिशर को बोलूंगा, वो सीधे आपके एड्रेस पे डिस्पैच करेगा. Within 4-5 days, you will get the delivery of the book. Okay. And I am happy that people have given very good response. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So sorry, some of us are not in India. Like me, I'm in Nigeria and I've paid. So how will I get it, sir?
In Nigeria, it will be a difficult thing. Actually, I did not. I requested that it is available only for Indian customers because I don't have. For you, I'll have to check the courier services, and if you are ready to bear the transportation charges, then of course, then it can be dispatched. Otherwise, I won't be able to pay that additional cost. Okay,
sir. All right. Thank you, sir.
Sir, regarding the ER questions.
Another thing, after some time, just a minute, for Nigerian clients, it will be available on Amazon also. So you will have to check Amazon. I'll be trying to keep this book on Amazon. So if it is available through Amazon, it is fine. You pay the cost and get it. Yes, dear. Now let us come to question answer session. Tell me.
Sir, regarding that CPM 25 lakhs or 5%, you told that CPM rating, CPM wording should be taken. And if it is above that, separate policy should be taken. If no difference is there, then why we are insisting for cover it in the same ER policy? Why it can't be given in the different policy?
No, but see, mostly contractors are avoiding taking a separate policy. That is the reason. It is convenient for them, na? He has taken one policy, CR policy. He wants one line additional to be written. CPM is also covered up to a sum insured of 50 lakhs, 75 lakhs. It is very much convenient for him. And secondly, the advantage is, I say the terms and condition in that case for less than 25 lakhs is as per CPM. But market is not applying, na? Market is applying without any CPM terms and condition. Up to 25 lakhs, they are giving it under the same ER policy, extension for CPM, but just writing the sum insured under the same policy. So contractor is happy, insurance company is happy, both are happy. So do you understand?
What is as per tariff? Whether
As
it
per
is
tariff, I
CPM
have
wordings
already
or
written.
ER wording?
See, I have already
ER
written.
wording.
If it is less than 25, no separate policy is required, but the coverage under CR policy, ER policy is to be given as per CPM terms. Excess आपको वही लगाना है CPM वाला. Terms and conditions of claim settlement will be applied. अब जैसे क्या terms and condition, एक important चीज बताऊं मैं आपको. In CPM policy, machinery breakdown losses are not paid. Simple exclusion, breakdown losses are not covered under CPM. But in EAR policy, breakdown losses are covered. उसमें कोई एक्सक्लूजन नहीं है. तो वहां पे गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, वहां पे क्लेम फंस जाएगा आपका अंडर दैट. लेकिन गाड़ी चल रही है, थिंग्स आर गोइंग ऑन, पीपल आज ऐसे ही चल रहा है, थिंग्स आर लाइक दैट. नोबडी इज स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलोइंग द टैरिफ वॉर्डिंग्स. आइडियली CPM tariff, CPM access and CPM wordings should be there. Rules and regulations should be there. No issue of giving the separate policy. But if it is more than 25 lakhs, people are not giving CPM policy, even if it is 1 crore. They say that first loss coverage up to 25 lakhs is there under CPM. This is a wrong notion, na? It is not first loss limit. It is the sum insured limit. Got it? Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
So I have a question, but it's not in regards to ER, it's in regards to CAR.
Nine. Then it regards to CR, we will discuss on the group, webinar group. We are already running late. So if
Sure, sir.
something is very critical, very important related to this webinar, I am happy to receive that question.
Sir, what is the maximum duration we can offer for put to use?
Put to use maximum, the practice is 6 months. And up to the maximum, it is as per the filed wordings. Some companies have filed up to 12 months. Some have filed only 6 months. In one company, I have seen it is filed up to 8 months. So up to that filed wordings, they give the limit. There is no standardized parameter for that. It is up to what limit you have filed with IRDA. Up to that you can give.
So is there a way to get, your hands on some treaty, conditions? Because I know these are confidential, matters within the company, and usually head office underwriters keep it. But is there a way to study, a treaty wording or conditions or something?
Listen. You are talking from broker's point of view, na?
So broker, insurer, I mean, even if I want to review the wordings as compared to mine, I mean, like you said, some company gives, somebody is giving 8 months of
No,
put to
you
use, or
are
somebody is
asking
giving
this
6 to.
question. You are asking this question on behalf of a broking firm or a
So
client.
I was an underwriter before. I'm a broker now. Yes.
You are from on behalf of broker. But as you know, these terms, treaty terms, can be conveyed to you. You can ask, sir, what is your limit? Then underwriter is definitely going to tell, madam, this is not available in our treaty. It is excluded. Like I said, more than 84 months limit under CR policy. It is not given. CR maximum limit is as per treaty requirement. It is 84 months. But you will be surprised. Some companies are giving up to 90.
90,
I have seen.
yeah.
I have seen some policies given up to 96. How they are
Yes.
doing it? How they are doing it? They are keeping it on their net account. Na? This is the way they are accommodating. Now, see, you are a broker. You come to me. Your demand is 96. I say, sorry, I cannot give you coverage for more than 84. Then you will say, okay, Tata, bye-bye. I'll look for some other insurance company. Another company you approach, they say, okay, madam, I'll give you, no problem. This 84 is my treaty. 84 to 96. Okay, that means another 12 years. Okay, 12 years, I'll keep it on our net, but I will put a loss limit of 50 lakhs. For that means during this period, exceeding 84 months and up to 96, my loss limit would be 50 lakhs. Not more than 50 lakhs loss will be paid to you under my policy. If you agree, I'll take up to 50 lakhs hit I can take on my net account. I'll not be able to recover from the insurance reinsurers, but I'll take a hit. This is the way people are doing it. I have seen some companies are doing it. They are taking a hit on their net account. But unlimited नहीं होगा, वो limit लगाएंगे. They will put a loss limit on that. Okay. Any other
Yes, sir.
query?
Thank you.
Any other?
Sir, referring to our earlier discussion regarding the solar project, principal is I told like principal is supplying the modules, but in that project the unloading risk is with the contractor. So in those cases, how can that unloading risk can be covered? Can it be covered under ER policy, or how to cover that particular?
ER policy starts once the material is unloaded, landed at the site. So this unloading, any loss under at the time of unloading, that will go under marine section.
So contractor has to take one marine policy in that case, right?
Of course, in that case. And there also, they will have to specifically declare, ensure that the insurance company agrees to cover unloading risk also. Many times marine policies, they are given from destination to destination. That means once it reaches your construction site, your marine policy is over.
But all risk covers loading and unloading, no sir?
हाँ तो उसमें है, then it's okay. But I have seen some policies where destination to destination, unloading is not covered.
Okay. And second thing, sir, MR 1202 I pasted in the chat box, the wording. So
no, not in wordings. You paste those wordings in the WhatsApp group. We have already formed. And hope everybody is a part of that. You all, once again, I request, please join that group. Otherwise, you will